really truly is the Cinderella story. You could have missed it, but they're very much a good side. Very easy to underestimate, but incredibly talented.
Well, the fact is, you look at Team Liquid, who just won.
Yeah.
3 of their core were picked up from the second place Ascension team.
Okay. I'm a little late, but yeah.
3-0'd them. Now, maybe that was a surprise in itself, but even still, this is a good team.
I skipped Go B,
Right, we're back in the action.
and we are in for Vitality
Gentlemen. We do
Gentlemate.
dive into the ever-thrilling round 2, which
Oopsie
means
stuff.
2 sheriffs and a whole lot of nothing else. But maybe we get to see some nice skins from the classics, who knows?
Have they got them equipped yet? I didn't notice them equipped in the last game, but they are now. They're now live, right? You can. I think you can buy them with your own. Who are you buying?
I don't know.
Who's your allegiance with? So the people can finally answer the question is, who is Pansy biased to? Yeah. Wasn't it Fnatic, right?
I go wherever Potter is, so EG, I guess. That's rough,
oh, you're like the one person buying EG skins.
Look, I'm a Potter fan, that's all I'm saying.
That's fair,
if we could have
fair.
a little look at the classics when we get a chance. I'm curious to see if they've actually equipped them yet. So I want to see those skins in play. However, for now, we do see just kind of the standard approach towards EA. So I'm not too fussed about this round unless something goes terribly wrong. We'll see if Logan can cause a little bit of mayhem. Not the case at all. Run up, comfortable on that. Gonna take down Logan, and the site's pretty much theirs. Again, this round, maybe more of a fact finder. I'd like to see them try and do something maybe a little bit more aggressive, but also keep in mind that Destrian's finding a lot of timing here, a lot of space as well to work. So this could be something to note going forward into the later rounds.
Planted.
Yeah, chance for him to potentially
Hello.
farm or
the entire
or
team.
die. Now the thing is, he's actually the one with the least to lose. So him and Safe, they're kind of doing a similar thing to what we've seen from Na'Vi. Go for 3 rifles, 2 players don't buy. Then in the next round, you come in with a really hefty bonus round. I think that's going to be something we see.
So we have a breach instead of a Sky,
if you lose 2 players or less, you're probably
and a
coming in with
Viper
all
instead of a Euro.
Quite crest the corner, but weapons. More than up to the challenge, and there we go. Sorted in the end. Did lose kicks, but not the end of the world. Vitality. The second round very well. No footfalls there for them. Keeping it clean.
Yeah, I'm excited as well to see more of Kicks and Runner, because obviously Runner, we saw from Diamant, he was one of those players who was sort of like a real standout in his team. Kicks has been on a lot of different, like sort of mixed team rosters, a lot of them unsigned, one of them under the legendary Bonker. I know you're a huge fan. And I think he is someone who was kind of like underrated for a while. Good. I'm really happy. I get more time to actually talk about this.
Please,
so that's 4 for you, 2 for me. Obviously, you're incrementally going to get further and further ahead.
I can count, surprisingly. The British score system didn't completely fail me, but close enough too. Yeah, no, but I do like the background that we're starting to see from some of these newer players, right? It is the change.
And we have
going on.
another
I think
technical
that
pulse.
goes across the entirety of EMEA especially, but I think other regions are starting to see that too, that we are seeing the
Pistol and
let's
Echo
say the
Arm
old
for
guards being moved
Vitality.
away. A lot of that fresh talent coming in, a lot of younger players that have been kind of poached from the smaller teams have been picked up and brought forward, which I think was overdue, if I'm honest. It's fantastic to see. Now, some will be hits, some will be misses, so I think it's just kind of waiting to see how well they fare when it comes to, you know, the stages like this, right?
And I think as well, it's good because we've seen, obviously, a lot of criticism of the initial Tier 2 system, but the fact is we are getting a lot of talent, at least thus far. Like, you look at those Ascension teams, the top 2, well, it was one qualified, the other, every single player still made it into the league in some form or another. We've even got some from the Tier 2 coming over from Americas as well, like where we had that previously in KC, so it does seem like we are getting that sort of little bit of extra talent, and that is sort of the risk when you look at Gentlemates. Obviously, they were one of the teams that qualified, but there seemed to be across the league a lot of upgrades to be had, and we've even seen with, like, for example, Giants only, or Giant X, sorry, I forgot about the X.
We're on brand again.
But obviously they only made a change of Redguard coming in, they've come up against one of those young teams, actually kind of got banged. It happened again. You've got Foot, who did bring in a youngster, and also CNED, and they had the same thing as well. Like, these sort of young up-and-coming teams from Ascension are proving that, at least on an individual front, they're doing very well.
They certainly are, and speaking of doing very well, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, production have a little I guess, reward for the audience who are trying to play so nicely. They get a little wave to the camera, turn around, there they are. Little French team covering this.
That's where we duck down.
Yeah, no, that's right. They don't show us. I've bribed production to not put us on camera.
What does that say?
Wait, it's
too quick.
I can't read that fast. I'm a simple person. But if you are wondering, Tech Pause. Number, well, it's probably number 3 in this game, really. They didn't notice the first one because the game didn't start yet. Does it count?
Okay.
Do you think it counts?
Well, technically, you hadn't... I don't think you'd graced the mic yet.
No,
so
I
don't think that counts for you.
Okay, but that's like an overall one?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that just dandy?
We got a while until we beat Pacific anyway, so it's like... if we're still there, you'll catch me sleeping under the desk.
Yeah, we're looking towards NA right now, but not quite there. We're good. And of course, it's on the 3 best-of-3 day. Anyway, once again... Time to go back
Vitality bonus, a lot of small shields.
Vitality, but look, it's got
no auto.
Right? It's got the rifles coming out. This isn't going to be just a a walkover round by any means. So Gentlemates need to get this one in the bag if they want to start racking up any sort of numbers. Oh my god, the pace of that. Blink and you miss it, but attack right back in. This is a brawl again. They're willing to scrap this out, Tom.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. When you have a lack of one of those sort of extra controllers, you have to kind of go pushing it a little bit. You need to take those fights because you've got that extra initiation. Unfortunately, it hasn't really gone great for them. It seems like the patience of Vitality, again, is enough to get them these advantages. And it feels like they're very happy to just go, okay, you're going to do that. We're going to win the battles. And now we'll just slow right back down again.
They've done a lot of initial hard work, but I guess a good gamble to an extent of pulling all the players towards A. Now they're going to feel better about it, hearing all of this coming their way. Vitality are leaning towards this A side, and look at this potential crossfire here. Logan on the left and on the right, Bayaz. This could be nice. This could be very nice. If Logan's hitting shots like that, needs a bit more. Gets them all. Stunning from Logan. A necessity to get across the line in that round, because Vitality looked in the driving seat there.
I've missed him in the VCT. Honestly, we had him back years ago playing through like his mixed teams, playing with BDS. Like he was always unreal with the Sheriff as well. If they have a low buy round, watch out for this man. Alliance still have nightmares. Sorry, Mitch, but not really. And just ridiculous stuff from him. A huge gamble taken by Gentlemates, but realistically, it was perfect.
Oh, so well done. Oh, that's just incredible work from them. Again, yeah, a little fortunate they had the players in the right place, but hold on, they're straight off to this aggressive start. Look at the tank. Straight away, trying to be commanding, trying to take control of these spaces, force them to have to invest utility to re-clear, or potentially do it dry. That's dangerous, and it doesn't work out. Yeah, I thought maybe they'd have to respect this pressure, but it looks like they're doubling down on this again. Paranoia sent. They still want to be applying more and more pressure to this Vitality side. No comfort to be found. Safe has got a bit of room to work here, but how far he can take that with utility in the way, who knows?
He's just going to break that trip and fall back. A lot of teams will break that door initially just to put that little layer of doubt in the opposing side, because leaving that closed means that they can have that little lock for them to back around in towards the B site. Trip available on A, but again, slowing back down on the rotation. A cam placed at least for Logan. They're going to slowly make their way into the site, and I think the only problem will be safe.
But it is safe, right?
True.
Like, this guy is a talent unto himself. Now, let's look at the spacing here for Gentlemates. This could be a disaster in the making. Yeah, okay, gonna find one, gives away the position now, but they have to deal with him. So the site is still on a plateau. That kind of, swinging around about is that Logan's now have to deal with too if he wants to be proactive, but with the Seekers there, he's gonna have to respect this, right? Kick's already buying all the time for the safe plant to come in. There's no room for Logan to work, and Safe is being such a presence in middle, they're taking the longest routes available to hit that rotate.
Yeah, Wayless is why he literally is all the way through main just to try and get back into middle, and they don't even know where Safe is. In fact, they don't know where the other team have gone as well.
Yeah, and they're getting proactive in the post plant. That's so nasty to try and handle. Look at Logan. Just try to carve out a piece of safety on the map for himself, and there's just not much of it. Whalers looking trying to come through. Logan's timing could be imperative to this, though. Have they lost track of him here? Don't think he's going to be able to have much to say about this one. Yeah, time's gone here, but can he do some damage? Not really. Safe. Essential on the way he approached that as well. Lovely work controlling towards middle, basically putting the fear of God in this side.
Yeah, he's someone when you look at this team, you go, oh, surely he's the duelist, right? Probably second best duelist in EMEA last year, the other being Durka, so you're not really... Yeah, you're probably not going to get above that guy, and he maybe had a slightly better team. So the fact is, now that he switches over to another role, you always question, like, is he still going to have that same level of impact? The answer is normally yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he's quite the exception to watch. Again, even in that round, just having that presence in middle was pretty much the wrap on the round. Now, the fans trying to pump up Gentlemates here. They're going to need a bit of that here. They've been struggling to get into this so far. Maybe not quite feeling the rhythm yet to it. I like the aggressive starts, but it is leaving them a couple of times at a disadvantage. Now they're going to be suffering monetarily. You can see the tank is one away from the ult, so not a million miles away.
He took the trip back before he got destroyed by the nades, so he can place it back down again. Just the small details. the thing is you don't really expect anything from them here. They have those couple of weapons, but not much else.
I mean, Whalers could do a little something. I mean, he's causing them problems, right? It may open up an opportunity for Logan. Get proactive. He's one of the 2 players with the rifle, right? Like, this is his chance for it. But does he get timed out here? Does this just kind of fall by the wayside? Safe's going to be coming back around, and it's all about timing, right? And now, again, on the other side of things, can Whalers even hold them back here? They're starting to apply that pressure on the site. They're starting to close the gap. Runner leading the way. The tank's a soft target. He only had the classic. It was Whalers who could have been the back line to it. Didn't get as much as he would have wanted. Only Destrian down. So by all rights, Vitality have done well here. Now, the threat is in the hands of Logan.
Yeah, the question is, does he actually go for this? They have the finances for the next round. Okay, if you get swung by Runner, I think they expected players to be there. You see all 4 just moving in that direction. Sender might go down here.
Sender gun out next time, maybe. That's a rifle recovered for Takas. How far does he want to go for this? I mean, Runner's been good for it. I wouldn't want that challenge, and Kicks' angle should be superior. It is. And now Bayers, I mean, there's nothing more to do for him.
Yeah, I think the thing that's worrying me a little bit at the moment from Gentlemates is it's very one-dimensional. Like, you can't play a passive round with this composition. Yeah. Like, we talk about the other side of things, having that Viper Cypher, you know there's going to be so much delay when they go onto that defensive side that can slow you down, have constant pressure for you to basically get past their utility. Whereas in this case, well, Vitality are just waiting for them to push. They haven't had to do anything crazy just yet because they go, okay, well, they're playing a Yoru, they're playing a race. They have to come to us.
Reading it well. I'm curious when the first timeout's going to hit for Gentlemates, when they decide to kind of pause the brakes a bit. Another go at a gun round here, and they've got a couple of ults to play with, so maybe this is the one they want to kind of run through, see how it goes. But it feels like it might be looming. They're not quite getting their footing down. As you said, it looks a little one-dimensional, very few win conditions, but now a little bit of a switch up. Operators coming out, that's in the hands of Takas. We do have, as said, the ults sitting there too and a buy to play with. So now we look at Vitality. Similar scenes, right? Default across the map, take their time, expect the aggression to come through, and just slow space being taken by Runner.
They have almost completely rotated after the initial start to the round. It's like they're doing a swapsy, moving the Omen back, and then having this aggressive player in the form of Natang go back around. Now bear in mind, he's one of the players with his ult, Showstopper available, and the Dimensional Drift for information if they want to use it. And Vitality, same as ever, they're just playing passive, waiting for that push to come.
It's a lot for Takas to handle. The flash even connecting as well, so knowing where he is, but not obviously who's there. They're drifting away from it again, so the clock will start becoming a factor. Late exploration mission towards the B site as well. 3 of them taking a glimpse, but it is going to be a bit of a burst play. You can already see them kind of crunching towards that B site, but they've got to get a move on that. Spike's still just sitting in middle. The tank with a massive opportunity here. Takes out Runner, and they're starting to lose options. 37 seconds now. Takas readjusting around, and it looks like they're going to try and end on B, but I mean, they're going to be late on this.
30 seconds left.
They don't have a choice. They have to go running into this B site execution. They run straight into the trip. It's so easy for Bayaz.
Oh, this is much better. Starting to get that tempo down, that pacing down. Maybe Safe could have made a difference, but the timing's not there, and he's now up against an army of players. 5 to take down, and barely any time to do anything with it. That is better from Gentlemates, having to adjust that pacing, Tom. They couldn't do that early exploring across the map. And honestly, Vitality timing themselves out this round, it felt like.
Yeah, only using one ultimate as well for that Andaluthia Flawless. It sort of puts you in a spot where you've still got everything available for the next round. The Rolling Thunder, Showstopper, all they really used was the Dimensional Drift for rotations. Yeah. They got a little bit of information, but they didn't actually have to do too much more. And that was based off patience, so that might be something that they try and continue with. The problem is, Vitality have been playing so slow because of the way Gentlemates have been playing. Now they might opt to pick up the pace a little bit.
I think they've heard you, but lovely stall here. Runner going to struggle to try and close that gap. Hit. Oh, I thought that could have connected. It doesn't, so they live to fight another day. You can see Whalers just wants out. They're going to give up the site.
Oh,
that's an interesting ult to come through. I guess it does cut off a large portion of that play back in. It really does funnel them in an uncomfortable way to play the retake, but Vitality taking their time here to, really slow and cautiously clearing towards the site, which does open up a chance for a potential pressure point now. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. There's the pressure point, there's the explosion. Now they don't have the plant, and that should be a dead player. Yeah, Sender's gone down, and now they're stalled out with a spike left on the site. Issues are plenty here. Can Vitality re-hit this almost with less to work with? Kicks, the first man to feel brave enough to work forward. It's Runner to find. The tank's gone down, and they're down 2 players here. Logan has to escape, and he gets away. But it's a 2v4. This is work for Vitality. They've held the numbers somehow, which seems almost obscene. But now the plant goes down on the second time of asking. You've got Whalers and Logan with very little to play with.
Yeah, I feel like they almost have
It's
to
a
back out
save
of
for
it. So low on
Gentlemate.
HP, not really any avenue. They can't even try and switch up the angle they're coming from unless they go in around the entirety of the map or try and go through a Viper's pit with no information. I actually think that it's the re-aggression from Vitality I like, because I see them stuck in that pit and I go, okay, you're kind of screwed here. Like, you put a pit down that almost hinders you, because if you leave it, you open up an angle for them to come back in again. Instead, they just aggress through it, and a lot of that comes down to the success of Runner. He's someone that's been really hyped up by community, by his own coach, and by the looks of it, so far he's delivering.
Yeah, certainly a player to watch going forward if he keeps this level of performance up. The value of his kill so far has been exemplary. So already putting real quality work in on the server. 5-2 now. Vitality are firmly with the lead here, kind of, I guess, responding as expected after that previous round with a much pacier piece. You could see the intention here of that kind of re-aggress on the side, denied that plant, but then look at Runner's work. Again, there's a little bit of pressure coming back in, clearing out the tank. You've got everyone just re-clearing through. That's a little unfortunate, but you take them when you get them. But still, very well managed, very well maintained. But does this then mean that Gentlemates have lost that little bit of grip that they had on those last couple of rounds, or last round prior, I guess?
Yeah, that's the thing. Just the change of pace from Vitality instantly puts them back in a spot where they go, okay, do we have to continuously aggress for information? Because they don't have any, really. It's Cypher. But there you go. That was it.
And we're back to this. We're back to that mid-pressure. But that's a lovely little paranoia on top here. But can they make
Oh
the
my
fucking
fucking
still gonna stay
god.
alive. It's the tank who's fallen again. He's struggling to make this count. And Vitality are just weathering the storm every single time.
They're so ready. That's the thing. They know they have to do something like this. And each time it's just failed miserably. They are patient in their push. I think Sender gets a little bit lucky to be able to TP out of there, but it's got to be frustrating when a lot of your basis of your comp evolves around aggression and Vitality aren't even breaking a sweat.
No, they are handling it so very competently. And now it's going to be that slow lean back towards B. Yeah, they're going to have the extra body there. Takas is leaning over that way, but again, it's very hard to hold this site. They don't really have the means for it. Bayers can't work off any part of this, has to respect it, fall deep back towards CT, allow basically the plant to come in. Whalers has to give away position 2, and look at the late lurk coming out. Safe, creeping ever closer. He could catch Logan, he could do whatever he wants. His timing could be perfect, and it is. Up in the kill feed, Safe has found Logan, but this is a little bit of damage. But can they break the back line? That's the last safety for Vitality, and it's going to be hard to break here. Whalers already down quite low, doesn't have a great deal to work with as well. And Safe, the big boy on the server, not allowing it to get anywhere near danger. It is nice to have that safe pair of hands there, isn't it, when Safe is still standing.
Vitality screen, man.
Every time, safe pair of hands. It has
I
to come up at least once.
I don't want to hear it, Tom. I don't want to hear it.
It's looking fairly dominant as well.
Yeah.
Like, they've done well to control middle. It's one of the main pushes that you see Gentlemates wanting to go for, but it's also just lack of information. Like, your solo initiator is a breach. There's no way to get info from that. The only info they have is from Cypher, and once that cam is destroyed, there's nothing. And that was one of the rounds they won, was when they ran into that Cypher trip. Other than that, it's been very easy for Vitality to just play these slow rounds, fall onto a site, and it's basically, okay, as Gentlemates, have we guessed correctly or have we guessed wrong? And the only other thing they have is what they're using as a quasi-initiator, which is Takas, who, let's be real, he's getting destroyed.
Yeah. And as we were kind of discussing in the earlier rounds, the option of that timeout was going to have to come in here.
Yeah.
But the solution isn't going to be easy. Again, the composition is going to limit them to what they can do here, I feel, and I've got to give credit to Vitality, really. They are so prepared for the aggressive leans, these aggressive pressure points they've been trying to lean through. So I'm curious to see how deep the playbook is on this map specifically for Gentlemates. I don't know how far into the the comfort zone this would sit, but obviously, I mean, they didn't remove the map, so they're willing to leave it out there. But again, I'm very curious to see what they can come up with as a solution going forward after this timeout.
Yeah, I think the obvious choice for Gentlemates is just having that breach is to set you up. So they need to basically be using that just a little bit better. It was something mentioned on the desk by Lothar, just that's something cool to have within your playbook, but what they have lost is something like a Sova. That's what we're seeing a lot of teams like G2 or T1, they're both running Sova on this map, so you get that bit of extra info.
And, similar scenario, looks like the tank just... Wait,
What?
He went further? That feels almost... And Takas has been rewarded as well. This just seems ridiculous. Does get hand...
Oh,
yeah,
no.
save!
Oh no.
He's just... That is such a message of don't you dare get aggressive. Who do you think you are to try and do that to us?
You just dry peek my teammates?
Yeah, literally. It's
Sit
just
down.
That's my job. Get out. So again, bringing it back to this almost fair 3v3, but again, the weaponry, you got to lean that a little heavier towards Vitality, as there is still Takas, the Guardian here. What utility? One flash, Dog still there for kicks, so that's got some space potential to it. Safe, obviously investing the wall elsewhere, but still could work into this one. Destrian again, a couple of options, but not many. So one bonus though, they do have time. 45 seconds to play with still. Destrian, oh, Logan, sharp still. And it's down to the two, kicks and safe. The angle, very favorable for Takas, could be a second. Don't underestimate safe. Yeah, you can see Takas instantly on red alert. He does not want to give an option here. An opportunity. 4 HP is all that safe has, and it's not going to be enough. Takas keeps cool, calm, and collected. And they do get across the line.
Those rounds are so close, man.
I don't know if you could give any credit. Like, I don't know. If Existence is taking credit for the tank walking up dry and getting a couple of kills, then fair play. He'll take credit for anything. But that was a big round for them. Just even for a confidence booster. Because the fact is, last few rounds, they have not been able to get anything done whatsoever. I don't think that's something that's going to work. Again, the thing is, though, I'm looking at just the build-up on the map. I think they're going to go for this mid play again.
It looks rather likely, doesn't it? And there goes the tank. I mean, willing to just throw his body on the line for it. He's got the early contact, does eventually fall away and doesn't lose his life for it this time. But he's going to force them to have to re-clear, take a couple of seconds, shave it off the board. But beyond that, didn't get the scalp he would have wanted.
They've burnt out a little bit of utility. You've seen a paranoia disappear, but the control is ultimately still there. Now this trip within the smoke might cause them a few issues. It's going to be something expected, or it should.
Yeah.
Just walk straight into it instead. And now, well, at least that little bit of information has gone over to Gentlemates.
The one issue is, though, the
He walked into it because there are two. He walked to bait a trade.
Numbers onto the fight against safe, but top mid's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. And it looks like Takas wants to get some control, and Runner backhands him. This is now panic stations. Look at the surround on Whalers. He has to deliver beyond expectation. Good to isolate one,
oh
could
my
not
God.
quite make it onto the second. So the gateway, the floodgates are open to the B side.
Yeah, again, I think Vitality are doing fantastically well to just work the map, force players into awkward fights, and now Bayers in the tank. A single kill for the tank will give him a showstopper. That's the one way I see them getting back in.
Does he get given that chance? Destrian doesn't need to overdo much here.
Ooh.
Oh, that was very close. Destrian on 11 HP. Pop flash and go. Bye-bye in a tank. And now it's all Bayers.
He's got the ult.
Yeah, he's got the ult. There we go. There's the silver lining. But I'm very impressed with Vitality on this map so far. Their mobility, their quick adjustments, their
that's their pick, so...
solid.
Yeah, again, it's a composition
Sunset
that
Lotus Ascent.
kind of hope for Gentlemate's sake should work a little bit better on attack. I think Yoru's always very difficult to get those set plays right when you're looking at things defensively, but even still, it's just the way that each time that pressure has come in, either they've fallen back, held their numbers, not given too much away and used a small amount of utility to force them off, but it's then like, okay, they've been challenged in mid, and their response that round was...
They have a lot of ultimates.
Push all the way up, surround the players in the backline, and it looked like Gentlemates just didn't even fathom that as an idea, as a concept. Even when the trip broke, you could see like Takas' response was, okay, maybe it's one player, I'll just go fight them.
Yeah, wasn't one player.
No. And even if it had been, he's still lost the fight.
Still lost. The issue now becomes, though, they're going to be suffering from the money side down on Bulldog and a Sheriff. They've got plenty of ults to play with. It's a shame that Bayers doesn't quite have his.
Who's the Sheriff on, though?
True.
Is it a disadvantage, or is it an advantage?
True. I mean, Logan, show us some magic, would you? I'd love to see a bit of it.
He's had one kill other than that 4K, though.
I don't want to hear that,
That's
Tom.
the only,
yeah. Don't want to hear it. Now, they found a pressure point they want to explore again. Vitality is willing to challenge. Oh, the flash is just outstanding. Look at this. It's masterful, the way they're controlling the map, right?
Out of charges.
Where's that off to?
Yeah,
Come on, that's...
that looks like panicking. Genuinely, it's like, okay, they've taken mid, I need to do something immediately, and it's so controlled by Vitality. Like, something that was mentioned is Sender picking up the role of in-game leader. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I was worried. I wasn't expecting it to be fantastic straight off the bat, but this team is moving like a unit, whether he's the one calling the strat or not.
Well, I mean, this is the welcome to the big leagues, right, for Gentlemates. This is the rude awakening of, okay, this is what to expect. Now, you don't know where you put Vitality X. They're not at the full strength of the roster. Hold a minute, because the tank has an opportunity. It's 37 HP, and it looks like he's getting checked.
Good stun.
Oh, dearie me. He's just let off the leash. Can he get it? No. Finally bailed out by Sender, but man, he did some damage. Bringing it back to maybe a winnable scenario. 1 HP for Bears is far from ideal, but can they work off the back of him potentially? No. Dealt with, handled, Vitality, large and in charge.
Yeah, the stun.
Yeah, Vitality is above.
Caught 2 players, had a couple of pop flashes, but it didn't even seem to matter. That's the thing, they've had these little traps and set plays that they're using off the back of his utility, but the reaction
Vitality Fnatic is going to be interesting, though.
Something goes wrong, something just seems to go right straight afterwards for Vitality. They're not panicking at all, they're not struggling against, as I said, a bit of an off-meta comp, even if it's brand new meta.
Sure.
But that will be the hardest time to play against this sort of thing, but they're not breaking a sweat at all. And while they've got one more chance to actually boost what could be a pretty rough map for them.
It could be. Again, this is Vitality's map choice, so don't lose heart just yet, but it's only going to be weighing on the mind. The way Vitality look, though, I do want to give credit, and I think you're right that Sender looking very in control. This team playing very much as a 5, but let's see if the Mayhem can really start. Takas wants
This is everybody.
a whole lot of everything, and Runner didn't make much of it either, but Takas does need to make his mind up as to what the plan is pretty soon here. Looking for the support system to be in place. Does get out with his life.
Oh my fucking god.
And then that's it.
Yeah, that was an ult. He got a little bit of information, but then ended up going down to it. And again, oh dear.
Excuse me? Okay, fair enough, attack. Give us a little more, though. We need more from you. Asking a lot from the man, but he can deliver. We know it. Whaler's by his side as well. Finally, Gentlemates with a new lease of life. Sender and safe, though. Still a chance, and it's taken away. A small tip of the scales. Tiny, barely.
That's what it took. A judge. Just a judge blast back over the top to kill someone at the back of sight. Like, why didn't they think of that before?
Got you. That should have been the plan from the offset. But yeah, I think let's kind of sit here and almost review, right? Let's kind of look back on this first half. I think the composition for Gentlemates didn't love it on this side, but I guess it's not really made for that side anyway. So we'll see how it looks going forward. But I've got to give credit to Vitality with how well they weathered every single storm front that came through from Gentlemates.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think the rounds that we saw were blips on the radar. Okay, a triple kill from the tank, blast packing over the site. A 4K from Logan when they were a man down and he just took the round into control. Like, that has been what has lost them rounds, and what has won rounds for Vitality is them being controlled, calm, collected, and making their decisions just proactively throughout the game. So I'm impressed. Now I get to see their defense, and as I said, this is kind of the meta comp for a reason. They have a lot of ability to delay.
Deep breaths now. The Gentlemates got to be working early here, if I'm honest. Vitality, as you said, they have the meta pick for a very good reason. The tank always happy to put himself on the line here. Oh my word! Come on! What is that? The tank
Safe.
So clean with it. Does go down, but gives him so much, and Takas' timing couldn't have been better. Come on now! They're just putting on a show. Just sandbagging on the first to get us worried, and then they bring that out? Okay, safe now. All right, 1v4. Let's go, Magic Man. Pull something out of the hat. I don't think even he can do this one, and he is normally good for it, but bloody hell. What a
Pistol? Upgrade? No?
ridiculous round.
It's like a fadeaway. Like, it's literally like, it wasn't even attempting it.
Clean.
I think
not
he,
clean enough.
yeah, not quite clean. 20 HP.
This one is all but wraps for poor old Safe, but I want to watch that replay every day. I want to see both those. Like, seeing it once with the tank, I was like, oh wow, that's impressive. Like, oh, he's done it again.
Yeah.
Oh, we go run it back one time.
It's like a no look. Like, he literally was just like, yeah, I'm reloading. Or am I? I don't even know what it was. It was such. The thing is, I think he still had plenty of bullets left in the clip as well. He had 9 bullets and then reloaded and used 1. It's completely unnecessary.
They're getting pumped up as well. good for a team like this. I think they need that confidence, a bit that almost, you know, being boisterous, kind of getting in their faces. And it works with the comp.
That's the thing, that's where the pressure comes from, really, from Gentlemates. They, by far, have had the biggest fan base here.
Absolutely.
The loudest is it's not even in question, so it gives them a boost, but it's also pressure.
Yeah. We'll see if they can keep it up, though. That's the first step, and obviously in quite some fashion. But they still need to keep going in this one. We always talk about this round, they've got to keep it clean. We said it in the first half, I'll say it here again for now. Gentlemates, if you want to see 5 alive, they've gone for a whole lot of rifles.
Yeah.
One of those drops gets into the right hands, danger. Now, luckily for them, they've kind of gambled and got it right. You know what I mean? It's a 5-play stack for Vitality over towards B. They put all of the eggs in one basket, and that's fine. I mean, in a round like this, you're not expected to win with just classics if you play it out normally, so why not try something? But now they're going to be hearing this and kind of thinking, well, wrong place, oh well.
Yeah, this was an investment of nothing as well. Like, the only thing they bought is utility, which obviously they carry on into the next round. So I'm going to make the assumption that Vitality will die to the spike. That's the plan. It's not to even take any fights or go for any orbs. None of their players are even remotely close to getting anything anyway, and they don't want to give it up to someone like the Tank or Takas, who's only 3 away. So they are literally going to shift walk into the spike.
I wonder if anyone's going to stick around and try and mop some of this up. I mean, Takas could. Wouldn't see why not.
I think they swapped the gun over as well. He gave his gun up to Logan so that they can make sure that gets saved and he can maybe get some orbs.
Yeah, I like this. You can get much for it. It is him on an island. He's purely trying to farm for that ult. Oh, the flashes. So heads up. Does still get one, actually, but Vitality will, I believe, get their wish. Yes, they do. Down to the spike. So you get to kind of wipe that away somewhat cleanly. But again, for Gentlemates, they'll be happy enough, right? That's a clean round 2 coming in. Building up a little bit towards Takas too. That's a lovely little silver lining. On the other side, Vitality just had to kind of accept fate in that one.
Yeah, and this is a map as well where it's relatively easy to challenge for the orb. So your opponents on the defensive side are going to have to basically, are they going to aggressively push B main? Are they going to aggressively push A main? So for him to be 1 away, that should be his ult, unless, you know, maybe 2 players or Safe was to fight you for it.
Well, right place, right time, isn't he? Let's see. The battle oh, very close. Having to commit a little bit of utility early on just to gain that B main control. Again, looking for patience here. Been paying off on this map, see if they can catch any of that early aggression or fact-finding across the map. It was a bit of a
fake teleport.
3-play stack towards A early for Vitality, but already dismantling that and bringing it back to more of a standard. Going through on middle, gonna spot Takas, runner. Hoping a bullet might connect through, but not to be. And defaulting back, it looks like, towards that B side.
Yeah, one thing worth mentioning as well are that for most of the players in this game, they don't have much on the line other than maybe the French battle looking to go through. For the Tank, maybe a little bit of revenge. He got dropped by this team, had to go through the tier 2, look to make his way back. He has been fragging so far, and I believe he does not want to lose to this Vitality squad.
No, but in this round, already seeing the issue here.
And we have a
Yo
ultimate
so that's going to be
going through main.
That's safe spotted. Did they get to
That stun is a little...
I think they did. Okay, so they've seen quite a bit here. There is still the player by pillar. There's going to be a problem. But Takas actually commits. Stunning work from Takas.
It's gonna close the door.
On the pressure. Destrian, the only one still on this
door
side.
closed.
Yes.
And now they have to kill that Cypher. Holy shit, man.
And now things aren't going as planned. Whalers and Takas are going to be sweating. They're panicking. They're worried. Yeah, it's 1 HP, but look.
And he can be like, holy fucking shit, man.
A big opportunity here. Sender's still got plenty of kit. Kix has a flash. There's so much to be played with, Tom.
Last players just looking to hold on, make it.
And they find way to
Takas, he kicked it off, but now to try and do everything. The spam isn't there though.
Destrian.
He's been insane.
That's hero level work coming out. Individually saving that, because you think who they lost. Safe went down, Runner went down. It was looking like B was on a platter, ready for the taking. Everything looking good. But then Destrian controlled it perfectly. Look at
Logan had a similar round.
Surely done, right?
That's tough.
The thing I really love about this is every single time he makes one of these plays, Bears is just sat in the back line like some little gremlin with his stun, just like, I've got you, buddy. It happens each time. You look at him go for an aggressive play, that stun comes through the wall, one player can't do anything, the other is having to fight. He did the same thing with a flash in this round, straight through the wall, and it's perfect.
You've got to say as well, that's a tilter of a round for Gentlemates. You're going to be frustrated with that one, because that one looked good, right? That was the investment of the early ult that you've just been managed to be able to collect. It could get frustrating for them on that factor, so I'm curious to see if that weighs on their mind? Do they get maybe a little annoyed by that one? 2 players noted for Destrian. Can't over-respond too early, though. And Taka, something very close to having the ult again.
Fake teleport.
They're just farming it. They know how much space and value he can bring with that ultimate. In the meantime, we're seeing a little
Now
bit of
3
regress. I
people
like the way they're using the screen. It is basically just to
need for
deny that
vitality.
information of where these players are in terms of this mid-fight. And even if you smoke it, Safe can sort of section them off, so they have to look for a play through.
This time they're going straight up middle, though. But you can already see the response. I mean, you've got 2 players very ready. I say very ready. Takas quicker to it than
Enough
Giggs.
ultimate
Now
for
they just
Takas.
They flood towards the A side, leaving Whalers the one to try and hold them back on the rotate. Did well enough for one, but you can see Sender's the one. Oh, he did completely blindsided.
Yep.
Didn't expect the tank to be there in that timing potentially, but still the information. Yes,
They're gonna give the
flowing,
spike
but
to
you've got 2
Takas
players
for
on
the
your side
arm.
Trying to dissuade this.
30 seconds
I
left.
would just say, you know, not necessarily raps, but a tough one. But Destrian just went nuclear and it's safe. So I'll always
Spot
give
in.
some credit. Oh, he's going to be annoyed at that. Yeah, that one's going to kind of almost tilt you out of it. Make you fall away. Both positions now noted for Vitality. And, well, their options. Just
They're gonna save, yeah.
They still have a little bit of cash in the bank as well, so it is probably worth just holding on to these rifles to potentially get a buy into the next round. But the same sort of plaudits we gave over to Vitality in the first half, I've got to give it in the second half. Like, I love the fact that this is something Gentlemates did in their Ascension run as well. Moving as a unit, very good synergy in terms of the tank and obviously Takas as that sort of double duelist. When they used to run it, they run it on split as well. They play in perfect harmony. It's like they've been playing for years together, and just the movement there to almost, okay, the tank's this massive distraction and Takas is popping your head.
Yeah, it's looking good. I mean, they course corrected, right? Which almost kind of wipes away the issues of maybe losing that frustrating 15th round. This is instantly back on track, quite clean as well. I think it was 4 alive at the end, so they'll be happy enough with that. You can't really complain. Otherwise, Takas back on the ult already. That is
We're only
almost
on round 5.
instantaneous. That is crazy to me. That he's instantly got that into hand. And you're going to start seeing a little bit
And
more
we see
of
some
issues
doubt
occurring
for
Vitality. If this does
Vitality.
test, do they have that wherewithal as
They're
well?
gonna save
Up on 9, so they are leading. It's
and
not
play
a
with
problem
2
just yet, but
rifles.
This is a tougher start and a new look again, kind of cutting it in a new way this round.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of their delay, you'd look at like snake bites.
They're all
tricks,
at
all
top
of these
mid.
annoying abilities don't really work when you've got the Yoro ult.
They're gonna do the
Just
same.
cause problems. They're doing the same again. Exactly the same play. And this time the tank's the one to just take the fight on his own.
It works. Safe is still on that A site, but I guess last time you could say Sender was. But look at the buy.
Six
Yeah, Runner's
It's a
gone
replay.
down.
That was a
very
little
good.
bit naive,
Like,
though.
You're like, wait, hold on, did I
Like-
just miss this? But no, you're absolutely on the money. So once again, your heavy hitters for this round are Safe and Destrian. Rifle now noted,
Smoke?
they'll know where
Yeah.
is Destrian. Oh, awkward. There we go, all good, no harm, no foul. Sender looking to try and maybe make something of this. Having to work together through here. It's scrappy, it's so messy. And Destrian couldn't quite get around the corner, and Takas
That
takes away his
fucking gun.
chances. Trying to get right back to the O. He's already got Sat in his pocket, but it's Safe left alive and not for long. Gentlemates closing the gap here, Tom. They are right on the cusp now.
I wonder if they've spotted a weakness in Kicks at that backside, because
Looks like it does
the way
have.
he's starting a lot of these rounds is to put a flash out A. If there's nothing there, he falls back to try and cover over middle. It not only leaves him a little bit away from some of the angles you'd want to be fighting, but they've now just blast packed over that same corner because they're going, okay, he's standing here every single round because he can pop flashes into mid. He can get that small bit of info that was actually missing for Gentlemates on the other side. We go, okay, if I know he's standing there, I reckon I can kill him. I'm going to keep pushing him every single round.
Well, it's kind of stirred the embers enough. The Vitality have pumped the brakes, right? Salah's on the phone. He wants to have a chat with the boys because he's not liking what he's seeing.
And a weird
Now,
tactical
again,
pose,
talking about
though.
great coaches, yeah, Existence, the name is legendary.
Generally, you want to
Salah's-
attack pose
he's worked his
before
way
you
up
do
as
your
well to
eco.
These players and this sort of team. And now he's got to try and keep them in line, right? Give them options. Maybe know what we've seen, that pressure point that's being pressed time and time again by Gentlemates. Now again, though, on the other side, in my mind, I look at the versatility for Gentlemates too. What do they then bring back in? Because obviously both coaches have a
And they
chance to
still
a
have the
chat.
Euro
Yeah, for
ultimate.
sure. And that's the thing.
If
I
they
think
want to
you're
do
looking
like
at
a
coaches
mid
we
to
have within
be
the scene.
again.
These are two of the most prep heavy coaches we
Absolutely.
have, and it's not even comparable. Like Existence was doing this as a player, now moves into that role, and we've seen the sheets of paper. But Salah, I know even with the roster last year, I don't think he slept. I think he just stays up all night coming up with different counters and different ideas. He's even trying to get in the minds of people like Angel. Imagine trying to do that. Angel's just like, bro, what are you doing? He'll walk up to people at events and go, let's do the beta right now. And I've seen a lot of people go, what are you on about, mate?
I mean, looking at the current reigning champions in Valorant itself, it has been the year of the coach, right?
Yep.
Like, you get a good coach behind you, you can see what can happen, but...
Wait, you're a Potter fan?
Could you guess? Right off the rip, Taka's gonna pop the ult. Now, we have to look to see if we can identify, note the adjustments, the changes. This is all, again, a bit of a ruse.
Yeah, the breach elbow.
He's just applying pressure throughout the map, but keep your eye on the spike. Keep your mind on where it's going, because Takas is just taking the toll.
I don't know where he's going.
Yeah, I was like, I swear he was on A.
He's just made sound through their cages. Like, you've seen 3 players move to the B side because he's just gone sprinting around. The thing is, he's made space for Bayers to just walk up A. He's gone, this is all clear, I'm going on the other side so I can check where these players currently are. It's got to be so confusing.
And they have to dog back.
Now
they
great
know.
Timing on the check on the dog though. That's going to be valuable information to note that that player had crept up, but they are right at the door. The tank is very close by, and he's on towards the site. Safe can't be isolated, he's got to be careful. Gets away, still breathing and still standing.
That nade was deadly.
This is an opportunity for a plant here.
Could be spam.
5v5 post plant.
That's the showstopper online as well for the tank.
Oh.
So much delay potential with that ultimate, but also we've seen how much damage he can do.
Takas keeping his head down. Runner's got. He's not got the foggiest. Oh dear, Takas can do so much damage. And it is him to take it away, actually, from the showstopper, if anything. Probably could have waited it out, but still, pulled the trigger and got the job done. Down to 3 now. Kicks just. Oh god, Kicks just swung in, hoping for the best. And Gentlemate's having none of it.
I'm loving what they're doing with this Euro on the attack side. Even if it's just purely for distraction purposes, they're able to get little pockets of the map and then just hold on to them. And it's up to Vitality to go, okay, we have to now check this, we have to now check this, we have to now... And they're using all their utility, so when it comes down to a retake, you might be realizing, oh, they actually don't have that much left because they've had to use it throughout the round to try and get anything. And then it comes down to individual fights, and there's no slouches on the Gentlemate side. They will happily take these fights. They're pressuring Safe out of the site within a few seconds, and we've been hyping him up all game.
Yeah. And we go back
He
in
knows.
and you look at the financial impact now. Vitality down on Sheriffs, I think Frenzies. They have a couple of ults, yeah, but I mean, is this a round you really want to be using it? But this could be the lead then for Gentlemates, right? This is the tilt round that takes it back into their hands, but Runner getting a little bit closer near here. He's pushed up middle.
That raise is dangerous.
Nothing on the other side, right? Barely divided. TP. Sender just found Takas.
Yeah, he did.
Did he try and take...
He TP'd with the Omen.
His TP. Yeah, that is a little bit unlucky that there were 3 players back towards that spawn area, but...
It's the raise. The raise saw the TP going mid.
And that's a corner not checked. Luckily, Bayaz is snappy with it.
They have a weapon now.
Really could have been a problem.
On
The
Kicks.
pressing issue for now, down to a 4v4. Can Kicks make anything of this, though? That rifle in hand could cause a problem. They're starting to get a little bit stuck here. Seek is even coming through. You know, identify still players in middle splitting through towards...
And the door is gonna block the ultimate. Oh, it's going through.
Logan, though, taking control.
The raise.
Yeah, not a chance in hell. The tank. Nasty positioning here. Yeah,
Good.
beautiful from the tank. Stunning work from him as Safe. I mean, wait, you're pretty far out from this now. If you could do any damage, brilliant, but very unlikely.
Yeah, I think if Launders was in Valorant, he would be the biggest in a tank fan. Just his movement, the way he's just sort of bunny hopping up these little corners. The opponent had no idea, even though he basically full sprinted up there. Just got the timing spot on, so nobody could make that rotation. And again, Gentlemate's doing fantastically well. Nice work from Safe, always good for one.
Yeah, you feel like he's not down. He's going to do a little bit of something, but I think you're right, though. It's when you're watching a tank play, it is pretty Valorant, right?
Yeah.
Like, he makes it look good, which is a strange thing to say, but there are a couple of players who very much have this kind of aesthetic to the way they approach it. But there it is. Lead now in Gentlemates' hands, tipping this away from what looked like a Vitality performance. That first half feels like a lifetime ago now.
Yeah, and one defensive round, and all we can talk about is it was a mistake. It was Destrian cleaning up on that defensive side. And then other than that, they haven't really got close in any of the rounds. It's just been super clean from this double duelist. And that's the thing, Takas had a real quiet start to this game, and he's been taking some serious risks. He's still positive. He's still at the top of the board with the tank.
Yeah, and you kind of think about how that mentally must have worked for them, taking these very aggressive fights. They were, more often than not really winning out in that first half, getting kind of pushed around. They come back in almost kind of incentivized a little here, but this is a big round. Rifles on deck, and away we go. Okay, Sender got it, so it doesn't really matter. No harm now, foul, but speaking of harm, it's Takas again. He gets handled by Sender. Not allowed that freedom this time. Denied all that pressure. But look at the rotations that they pulled. That's 3 players on B, and identified a large amount of them. Logan trying to keep their attention here. Well, look at the spike. It's going walkabouts. It would be safe, potentially, to find them.
So much space into middle. Sender has an eye on it, but he's a little bit low. They've spotted him out, has to fall back. Now the run from Kicks, he's always the man to try and catch them in this position, but it's all about timing.
It's imperative that he doesn't fumble.
They know, though.
This as well, because it's a very different scenario. Safe is playing to the time, right? He's just doing around the world. He doesn't need to overly risk too much. He knows they're probably going to come this way, but he has to play safe. His life is paramount right now. Still curious if they were taking the long route. They're not. We can see where they are. 30 seconds.
30 seconds left.
Smoke going up just to that left side of top middle. Bears on.
It's gonna have a timing.
First. That's their plan. That's the goal, and he's actually got it. Okay, now there's a plant, and now it's a 2v3, far more feasible. You've still got Paranoia. You've still got a lot of kit for Beaz too. You've got a lot to play with here, but you can see them getting it a little bit ahead of the curve, right? They want to challenge on this CT side. They want to find an individual, and they almost had him. Kicks has to be careful. This guy cannot drop the ball here.
Oh, it was a little bit of an over wide peak, but I like this from Vitality. They're grouping up.
This is better, but Wayler's angle isn't bad. Nice double swing, lovely. Vitality keeping composure there. I got a little nervous when they were starting to jump spot a little early, almost costing Kicks his life, but no, really well handled as the 3 at the end.
Yeah, I think this is where you see the risk and reward of what Gentlemates are doing. Like, that initial jump through from Natank was insane. Like, this is insane what he's doing there, but it's basically just to make space for Takas. And I think if Takas wins that duel versus Sender, this round just spins completely out of control. So it's a gamble, but this time Vitality managed to weather the storm. The problem is, Lauren, they've only done that once, and I said it was off a Destrian 4K. It has to build into something here, because again, the attack sides of both teams have looked dominant.
Yeah, I am seeing a timeout. I'm kind of curious who called it.
Yeah, a gentleman timeout.
Just to make sure that they don't... Yeah, okay.
You lost one round, I have questions.
But Existence may be kind of going through what they can look at other than this, right? Like, maybe they felt that they've been not necessarily countered, but that kind of Takas and a tank combination hitting towards that, you know, the side itself was just like starting to be read a little bit, maybe reading into what the adjustments from Vitality are after their last timeout. Why not come back in? You've got a timeout, use it, right? Don't drop the ball on this one. It is mostly Existence having a chat there, so it does seem as though he will be checking in with the boys at this point. And for Vitality, again, I look at repeatable success. Can they continue to control that B site, you know, and kind of complement it with the market pressure as well? Because as we know, Takas loves to run through there, use that as his kind of stomping grounds. Is this something they have to be worried about, or is that was just, you know, a blip on the radar? It's hard to tell.
But that's the thing as well. The last few rounds, they've started to almost gamble stack into mid and B, because they've just left Safe alone. And I wonder if there's going to be a switch up, because I'm looking at the map right now, and Safe's looking to start over onto the B site alongside Destrian. So I think they've now gamble stacked on the other side, assuming that there's going to be a risk taken there from Gentlemates instead.
This could be monumental though for Vitality B here. They're going to feel like they're in the head. Oh, the paranoia, the timing. Yeah, brilliant for Kicks. Gets to work off the back of that paranoia sent out so perfectly. This is exactly what they would have dreamed of as a beginning.
Perfect. Like, literally countered exactly what was being expected. Still have really deep control into B main as well, with all of the Cypher utility able to hold down mid in case there's re-aggression. And because that's been something that's so commonly fallen back on by Gentlemates, they now have 2 players waiting for somebody to push top mid.
Shadows traveling.
This has kind of scrambled the plans a little of Gentlemates, losing out on Takas, who is normally that 1-2 punch for them.
Yeah.
Still have Bears' ult though, so there is a lot here to play with if they feel like they can maybe bring that into effect. But again, you got to give credit to Salah in these sort of situations as well, that, you know, maybe he equipped them with that positioning, with that hold, It worked
They're
out.
right as well. They gambled that they would try and go back to this mid play because it's been successful in the past. This time Kicks wins the duel though.
He doesn't need to overextend on this one. He just needs to play his life. Again, he got one that's good. He can back away and play somewhat safely.
Left.
They're not finding the same success through top mid now. It's already been adjusted. That little pressure point has been handled. Now, the other side of the factor is, though, they've respected this far enough. Look how deep Vitality is sitting here. They are deep towards CT. They're not playing actively towards the sites. This will give up an opportunity for Gentlemates to get a plant in. But again, it will be a 3v5 post-plant at best. So let's see if Bears can hold back what is going to be a flood coming his way. He's the one with all the kit, all the utility, and he's gone down. They've got a plant, but they've lost the player, and now a 2v5 is near on a mountain to climb. Logan, yeah, this man is good, but he's not that good. Sender puts him to bed as Whalers now. Yeah, not going to happen. So there we have it. Vitality allow Gentlemates a glimpse of what it's like to lead in these matchups and take it right back away.
I'll be honest, this round in particular looked like one of the pages of Existence's little sheet just fell into Salah's hands.
Yes.
Because that was,
yes.
okay, we're going to stack early onto A, that's where they haven't pressured. Perfect paranoia, force them back. When we force them back, where have they gone? Middle, we'll place 2 players at the top of middle. Okay, they've got an ultimate that can force us into awkward positions on site. We'll play no one on site, and we'll pincer him from behind. Like, that was perfection from Vitality.
You're doing a great job, guys. Keep it calm out there. Good fight on A. Good fight.
Okay, one nice guy.
Yeah. Why aren't my ranked teammates like that?
Huh.
Just like, stupid British noob. That's what I hear
I mean,
a lot.
it's a fair assessment for
Yeah.
all of us, really.
But Brits are never toxic, so I don't know what their problem is.
But as it stands, Gentlemates are starting to hit that brick wall, right? That late round point that they like to pressure towards top middle has been dealt with. So credit to Kicks on that, because he was the one just on the receiving end of it a great deal. I like this early round adjustment, but let's see what Gentlemates still have up the sleeve, right? They still got to have something in mind that they can run here. Or at least you hope so. Late exploration back towards the A side of things, but leaving quite a large pack of players over towards B. So see what they can discover here. 2 players called to attention towards top mid as well. You can see how much Vitality are paying respect to the amount of pressure that was coming through middle. Takas will be revealed somewhat. Looks to kind of dismantle that and fall back towards middle now a little later.
The same gamble again, this time on the B site. They're just going to shut him out.
Yeah.
Force him into the angles they want. As said, they've been doubling up in towards this mid position, and he doesn't have a whole lot of places to go. There's the stun again, and the shorty out. It's beautiful, but it's only the one.
But it's Natank who found space as well, so it's not just one. They're able to just build on that in the slightest way, but they've still got to keep safe from the other side. Look at this cross point. Good catch, and he
They gave up
Great
Logan.
punish on Logan, who couldn't make it out in time. He had to get that spike down. So there's still chance here, still opportunity, but Bayaz has that ult. Now, really huge work from the tank there, and he's just going to put life on the line, make the most of it. Nice work from Runner to get out of there. Oh, Runner. Oh, Runner. Oh, the paranoia. What is going on here? Both sides desperate to try and play in their players, and they have made it past the ult now. Bayaz burning it early, forcing Whalers into the fight, and they luckily do find one, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. Runner on the money this time. Bayaz got to play the clock, and he's gone down.
Runner with the ace.
Done absolute wonders in this one. Brilliant work from him. And Gentlemates are going to be kicking themselves for that.
I think this is the second time where we've seen a scenario where I think Gentlemates played things excellently, and an individual on the side of Vitality has just smoked them. Because it wasn't like they really did anything wrong. The initial setup, again, beautiful off the back of the stun combination with Yoru is something I really enjoy from them so far. Something Lothar mentioned on the desk that could be fantastic and has been. And then the space that Natank's not sitting there. While everything is going on, he goes, okay, that's a gap for me. And then Runner killed everyone.
Yeah. It was actually beautiful to watch. I genuinely think, that's when your stomach starts to sink, right? Like, wait, I use my early. Speaking of ults, early, either side, one connects. And that time is the tank taking out Runner. So the man who just got the ace gets to sit out this round, take a break, relax for a moment. But early beginnings, and look at the time they've managed to pull off that first blood.
Really early stuff. And again, they expect a fallback into mid. 3 players from Vitality are actually going to go pushing this time around. Now, they've spotted the Tiger going down mid, but will Takas catch the rest?
I know exactly where you are.
Oh, they will now.
Well, that's unlucky, isn't it? Yeah, they're scrambling away like that. Guys, we weren't doing anything weird. Don't worry about it. We're just rotating. Don't look our way. Kicks maybe trying to creep a little closer. Logan's on the other side here. It does get played. Well, You can see the trade out, but again, it's going to be Sender on the side. He's got a bit of damage, but again, just down to Bayaz. 1v2, not a pretty situation, no plant on his side. And still, Destrian just trying to pull the attention, pull the eyes! Just draws blood. It is
Good comeback from Vitality, like good mental reset.
Brilliant half from Gentlemates in the end.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the first times throughout this tournament so far I've seen a really high impact pause. Second we see the pause come through, Vitality, they get a little bit of a chance to talk to the man himself in the backlines. They don't lose a round since.
And call it what it is, to do that against someone who has existence at the helm, that is highly impressive for Salah. So that's map 1 done in the books. Join us back for map 2.
I know a place that will break you into 1,000 pieces. Stay away from them. Stay away from Lorca, Paco, and Picasso. Don't ask about Lola. Ay, Caballo Grande. Ay, Dolor de Nieve. But in spite of everything, it occurs to you to visit Andalusia. Don't say I didn't warn you. Be careful of the Andalusian crush.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin, former professional Counter-Strike player and Valorant coach. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle, you're going to be able to fight this.
Red Bull gives you wings.
am so excited because I have been invited into the box of the Gentle Mates. We've got Gataga, we've got Squeezy, and we have Brooks as well. You must still be catching your breath after that map, because I was watching the three of you commentating and the boys nearly made a comeback. How was it watching the action so close to this stage?
So the game was really, really close. Some little details went in their favor, but I felt like my players had to warm a little bit more, to come really to come hot in the game, and the more the game was going, the more we were really hot, and it's just one map, so I feel really confident for the next one, but everything's fine, everything's great.
And do you take much notice of how the guys are practicing between games? Do you ever get to see behind the scenes?
If what practice you?
So before even, say, today's match, did you check in with the team?
Sure. I'm always with the player, so basically, like, I came to Berlin really early to stay with them, to make them feel really confident, really on top of their performance. So I watched their practice. I watched them practicing. They've been practicing for so many months right now. They felt ready, and I'm happy the way that they've been practicing for all those months.
But you have been watching, and you know you want your team to do well. Have you got any advice for them going into their map pick next?
For my team, no, I don't have really advice. Like I say, they've been working for a really long time. They know what to do. They just need to be confident, to trust them, communicate well, and everything will be fine. You know, practice makes you perfect, and they practice a lot, so they may be perfect. So we'll see on the next map.
And what's it like having so many of the mates here to support the team?
Come on, they're incredible. They're incredible.
Vous êtes incroyable!
They're incredible. They're giving us so much energy. They make the players being so confident, and they're rooting for us. Even though we are losing or winning, they're always rooting for us. So I want to say thank you to them. Some of them travel for a long time, 12 hours by car. So they're really exceptional. They're incredible, and the only thing I can say to them is thank you. They're incredible. Nothing much to say. I love them.
Well, right now, we are also streaming on Squeezy's Twitch channel. So if you actually want to see the guys in action and listen to some French commentary, you can do on Squeezy's channel.
Exactly.
Squeezy, can I ask you a question?
Oh my God.
No?
Yes, you can.
It's okay. Okay, I'll try some.
Oh, I stay here?
I try some French. Yeah, you can stay here. It's okay.
First second, cringe.
The camera can move. You're okay. Okay. So, pouvez-vous gagner ces jeux?
Oui.
Oui.
Mais on peut gagner ou pas là? Est-ce qu'on va gagner là? Et voilà, si on perd, il y a des sacrés clips à faire.
Qu'est-ce que c'est la différence contre le Vitality et Gentlemates fans? Is that right between like the?
So do you know the story that they actually created Vitality many years ago? So
I have heard this story.
Yeah.
Did you sell them for lots of money and then decide to make a new team?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, yeah.
No, but we created Vitality with Gataga and Neo, and we decided to leave to do our own thing, and it's just like playing or flirting with my ex right now.
Yeah, do you kind of miss the bees?
If I miss them?
Yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all. But
They're
I'm really
dead
proud
to you
of.
now.
I'm really proud of what we did with Vitality, and the way Vitality goes. One of the best organizations in France. So I'm really proud. But I just want to smash them really hard, and that's what we're gonna do next map and the other map. Let's get it, baby.
Let's get it. Can Gentlemates be as big as Vitality though? Because they have taken over the world.
Vitality? Yeah, but it doesn't matter because Gentlemate's here right now, and we're gonna take over the world.
It's a way of life. It's a way of life. I love this. Squeezy has just alerted me to the fact that I've been told to wrap up this segment and throw it back
Sorry,
to
I
the
tried to
analyst
help you.
desk.
It's not easy for you. There is so many information they try to give you, and we are like so happy to be there. So many information for you. Sorry.
Tu as mon travail maintenant. Donc, alors, look at the camera and throw to the analyst desk in French.
Try to say what?
Say like, nous retournons à vous guys. I can't. Just say we're returning to the analyst desk.
J'ai pas compris.
Oh, wow. What an honor to be on the receiving end of that toss. But definitely some strong words coming out of that. A lot of their fans here to steal. It was close, though. It could have gone either way. Maybe a couple of mistakes they ironed out.
Yeah, and we could see why they have so many fans. I was about to say friends. They're all mates, right?
That's
okay,
actually funny. Fair enough. Yeah.
But we saw it was really close, right? We saw in the first half the pistol round went down all the way to a 1 versus 1. You know, if that round goes a little bit different, could we see, for example, Gentlemates taking that map?
Yeah,
it's
never
possible.
know.
And then there was also a round that happened. They went really aggressive into B main. They got a 2-man advantage. It was in a 5 versus 3, and then they did a really lapse of judgment repush, and that came down to a 3 versus 3, and then they ended up losing that round. You know, these are the smallest margins, and when a game gets so close, once it's in like a 13-10 territory, that's when it's like, you know what? Any of these small moments, had they gone the different direction, we would be talking about, you know, a different result.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing about Gentlemates is that they are very mentally resilient. They're not going to be able to have that in the back of their mind. It's very much like a GG go next mentality, it seems. But coming on to Lotus, I know it's been a hot minute and the map is new, but Gentlemates, they did like leaning towards the Phoenix. Tell me why you think that could be a good or a bad idea here.
Well, the Phoenix on Lotus could have been good back in the day when there were the 3 orbs to pick up, and you could usually start and do your like CBA thing where you start with the C control, get that orb, go over to B, get that orb, maybe break down, you know, whether it was Killjoy or Chambers, Sentinel utility towards that area, and then you make your way over to A, and then maybe you also get the spike planted. So in the round, you could collect up a lot of orbs, and with only 6 ulti orbs to get the Phoenix ulti, it was good to be able to spam that and always have some dude running in first that could just come back to life. But with the change being at front B, you don't really have that luxury anymore. So maybe we probably don't see it. It was a long time ago. The meta's changed a little bit. We are seeing more Gecko, less Sky. The Gecko getting the reclear info on C from Waterfall area is really strong on defense specifically. We might see Gecko and Sky. So it's going to be interesting to see what direction they move in, but until we start seeing what they're locking in, it's all kind of just like up in the air, and we're just, you know.
I mean, a personal preference, right? Would you think it would be a bad idea for them to stick to that Phoenix?
I don't know if it's the best. We've seen a lot of value from Neon. We've seen a lot of these 50-50 areas being opened up, so the stun value is there, fast rotation value is there, having that extra wall is there. I don't know if it's there over Neon, over Yoru, over Raze, even over Jet at this point. I just don't see it there.
Well, let's see if we are going to get that Phoenix.
There you go.
And with the Breach, they love this Phoenix Breach stuff.
Yeah, well, we got the double duelist, we got the Raze and Phoenix. We have the single controller and the Sentinel. So when they're starting on attack here, obviously it's going to be a little bit easier to control the pace of things when you're on attack, when you have the double duelist and the Breach. But when you have a composition that's like this, where you don't have the double controller to deny info, to be able to kind of keep the round being a little bit more fluid, to be able to set up these fakes and double fakes and being able to move around the map, you have to do more straight up hits, straight up executes, and straight up gunfights. And that's what we're going to see from these guys on the attack. So on the flip side of it, we're going to have to see the defenders really just being ready for that.
Yeah, and safe on the Omen as well. I can't wait to see how this is going to pan out. Once again, over to the casters for map 2, Pansy and Thomas.
Thank you so much, and indeed, a little bit of a question mark here in my mind, Tom, is how good does this look? I love the way we basically had Steel going, don't love this option, don't like this, don't like that, but it could work maybe, I guess, but it just doesn't work these days. I love that idea, and then we get to see it in practice.
Yeah, I think I said to you just before we went live, if there's anyone else in the world playing Phoenix, I'm not happy. The tank, I can somewhat get behind it. He somehow seems to make a lot of these niche agents work, and well, straight in with the initial fight.
And dead.
Yeah.
Look.
Next round.
To be fair, look at what Vitality are doing. They are running. There is pressure across the map. This is obscene. They just want to get a stranglehold around on this. They've left the A site completely open. They're like, no, we're just going to brawl out C. We're going to pressure on B. We'll just play for retakes if we have to.
The thing is as well, it still needs to be checked. Gentlemate's just having a little bit of time to just try and clear some of these positions, but it is a death ball being built up by Vitality. They have the advantage already, so let's just go as a unit.
One of the 3 players standing for Gentlemates, now make it 2, would have had to have gone nuclear. There is just, as you said, a death squad rolling around this map. Yeah, Bears can buy a bit of time, but time is not really the biggest factor. It's the numbers, the sheer amount of bodies on the Vitality side. And again, Whaler's trying to play his life. Good opportunity to get to the 3rd, just slips through his fingers. Not going to get that. And Vitality, it was from the start of the round, Tom. They are sending a message.
Yeah, it's interesting as well because, again, they're up against a comp that a lot of the time you are going to need to go for these fairly aggressive pushes as you don't really have that information on that Gentlemate side. Again, like you have to even bear in mind, last map they actually had themselves the Cypher, so they had a little bit. Now they don't even have that, they've got the Killjoy, so it is basically just going to be down to the tank to run in and take these fights head on. They've actually forced into this one as well, at least once we get back into the game.
Yeah.
I'm also looking at Whalers going for an attack side Judge, which I can only make the assumption they're going B, because if they go anywhere else, he's lost his mind.
I did this whole composition, this whole start has already got me somewhat reeling, but we'll see if there's some method to the madness, right? Like, show me what you're planning here, because the tank is in on the site. Takas was just melted. His HP was so low then. Logan, I mean, we noted the Sheriff earlier, but again, these are all favorable engagements still for Vitality. Sender's got to be a bit more careful. He does want to put his life on the line, but they've noted pretty much everything. Even if they try and lean back to, hey, look at this position for Destrian. Oh, that was sloppy. That was sloppy. The tank happy on the drive-by, and they've carved a path. They've opened up a chance for themselves, an opportunity now to actually make this work.
If the word I'm thinking of when I think of Gentlemates is bold, and just look at Whalers.
Love it. You got to do something. It's a Judge. What else are you meant to do? He can hold this as long as he, well, as long as he can stand. Right? He's still a problem to get past. Look at this utility pouring in, buying precious seconds this time. Bears going through all of it. Lovely work from Whalers, still alive. One more go of it on the corner. You can see Kicks just closing in like, I don't want it. I don't want any of that. I'm out. And you know what? The Force Buys worked out. It was a bold maneuver, a bold idea, and it's actually worked.
No, I really like it. Like, as said, anywhere other than B, and they're insane, but it's more so the adaptation again. These mid-round calls from Bears, obviously, we always talk about their leadership of existence, but the thing I love about Gentlemates is their commitment to the idea. If he says, okay, we've taken B site, but I want to go A. We know that they've been rotated. We've spotted players outside C. I want to take this call. You watching the tank full sprint W key out there. He's not hesitating for a second, and that is what makes this team successful. Yes, they're outside the box. Yes, they're taking risks, but if everybody commits to those risks, the percentage chance of it succeeding goes up massively.
Yeah, this is probably a little frustrating for the Vitality side as well, in their minds, looking at how that round went. You're going to be feeling a little bit off kilter. Again, have to keep our focus on this game because it feels like you go any which way. Now, we do have the remnants of what was that previous round, right? Sender still with a Bulldog, Kicks still with that Guardian. So can they make themselves integral to outcome? Can they do a bit of damage? Because this buy isn't still fully fleshed out for Gentlemates. They've still got, Stingers, Spectres, bits and bobs, not the full kit and caboodle. So there is a chance, there's a window, and it looks like they're going to get a little proactive towards that A side, but, already sent away.
Doesn't look like the tank is going to be stopping anytime soon. Util going to be popped. That will buy a little bit of extra time. But bear in mind, the Destrian on the side doesn't have any weaponry. He's mainly just set up for Sender.
Okay, a little bit of chip damage on the way through. Not a great deal, but he knows there's a player, but he doesn't know about Sender. Played in near on by that classic rattling away. Sender's managed to at least dull the tip of the spear. Now, we look at, do they follow this path? They didn't really get to see the greater amount of amount of Gentlemates that are coming this way. Now they know, and now they're going to burst through. Logan's got to be careful, could be overwhelmed. They handles the pressure very well. Fighting two, but Sender's still standing. puts a couple of shots downrange, and Takas falls. It's a 2v2, but the weapon's still favorable towards Gentlemates. Whaler's still there with that rifle, which is huge. Kicks has to be integral. Can Safe potentially play him in? Is there a weapon to be recovered? There is. Bulldog now in hand. Bayaz, the timing is outrageous near on. It's all on Safe, and you can see the stall, the time being purchased here. Does he get a chance? Can he punish? Any silver linings? No. The one way on himself.
It's not, yeah. That's not gone to plan. Not what he was hoping for. And again, it's going to be that resurgence continuing from Gentlemates. I like the ideas. Again, it's just that fake out from Destrian to give Sender an opportunity. He's getting closer to that Viper's pit as well. But even still, you look at the sort of purchases that are coming up here for Vitality. They kind of echoed that last round, and their buy is still fundamentally worse than the one that the opponents are going to be coming up with. They don't have any ultimates online. Well, there'll be a happy Mitchman somewhere because we've got an Odin on the board. It might be the one map where I'm kind of okay with it on defense.
He's poisoned your brain.
Oh, you can spam,
I don't want to hear it.
Spam the doors and the walls.
What a thrilling way to play the game. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
What?
That's the most safe round I've ever seen. How has he gotten away with that? Daylight robbery. The Natank falls. Yeah, I'd love to see the shot of Natank's face after he loses that fight, just absolutely reeling. But again, gonna have to try and persevere now without Natank. Bonus is they still have Takas there, so they can easily use that as their launch pad forward. Runner forced to respect, forced to fall away, and the site somewhat under the Gentlemates banner.
Yeah, the thing is they've been losing a lot of these early battles, but they're not shying away from this C-site. Clearly confident. And especially with the defense, not having a mass amount to clear them out with, the main thing is going to be what Sender does with his snake bites. Can he force them into awkward battles as they look to push back in, and the paranoia?
Flash, paranoia, and there are those blast packs. First, oh, that's stunning. Runner on a mission, but he can't break the back line. Bayaz and Logan still alive. Going to be trying to desperately hold things. That's great work from Bayaz. Tried to just almost predict the swing, but now that plant isn't ideal for them. Logan can't do much to deny. He's got to accept his fate here. And the Odin, well, it's not pretty, but at least holds him back as well. That was a lovely way to retake the side. Vitality will be happy enough with that one.
Yeah, I think saving that paranoia, that was the thing. We had Safe in a pretty aggressive position.
Man.
He could have used that proactively to try and save himself, but I think they've realized how important that piece of utility is going to be for the retake, and, well, there you go. It made me... Well, he looks fairly chill, to be honest.
He wasn't that upset by it. I'd have been absolutely livid.
That's the one thing I'll say with this Gentlemates roster, even from watching them in Ascension, it never really looked like anybody was getting massively frustrated. They always seemed to believe in themselves. Same in the last map as well. It didn't really have any of that like table hitting or stuff we see from a few other people in the league.
I enjoy a table hit, though. I have a little bit of rage.
Do you partake in it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Natank, though, feeling, once again, up for a wander, up for a walkabout. Not alone in this. He did have Takas by his side, and it is a shoddy purchase, so why not try and get a little... Oh. He's waiting for any tap on that. It's like, well, you've got a Phoenix. You want to get this. You know... Go
he's one away, so they know that it's coming.
Like,
oh no!
Oh, the timing, Sender. Oh God, Kicks, just monstrous impact. Oh, and he even gets the follow-up as well. Just eviscerating Gentlemates as they try to come on through. Now, Natank and Whalers. There's potential for a plant, right? They can offset that. Can Natank get anything? Not really. He has to try and defend for the plant, so he doesn't get much freedom for it. Trying to think, is there any way they can kind of play together to create an opportunity in this 2v3?
Kind of wanted him to use a showstopper. Well, yeah, that's one way to secure the round. I guess they were just as worried as we were if there was any chance, and just decided, you know what? Let's just showstopper the tank out, so there's absolutely no hope. Don't worry, they're gonna save the Odin. It was 1 for 2 in this round. 1 kill, 2 deaths. Great gun.
Great gun. I like the way you're enjoying a new lease of life, you know what I mean? A bit of freedom away from Mitch, so you can say how you really feel.
I would have had an argument for the next 5 minutes if I made that comment. It's the same way if I were to say something like, you know, I'm not sure Liquid are going to get through to Madrid. He's probably going to burst in the door in a second.
He probably will. He's waiting outside. He's chomping
Enzo
a bit.
finished bottom.
Don't bring up Enzo. I don't want to hear it.
Eiko had to drop 37 kills. All of these things, I wouldn't be allowed to say that.
True. Just don't speak ill of Potter, all right? Otherwise we got trouble. Now, coming into focus on this round, though, look at Gentlemates and look at those ults. They have so many to run through. Surely this is round in the back, but maybe something explosive off the rip from Vitality could really cause issues. Let's see. Runner, can you be the problem, or... No, absolutely not. You are swept aside in a second, and Takas just off the leash. The tank charging him down, so trying to take as much space as possible.
Yeah, I don't know how he's got both of those. Found a player up above and then down, quickly switching things up. Now Sender's back at the site again, and he's got a quick rotation from kicks. It's possible.
I'm looking a little at Destrian's position, if that does have effect. If Sender can hold them away, right? If he can hold them back, the tank already takes down kicks. So it is literally the last standing bastion of hope was Sender. He's fallen, and already Destrian's thinking better of this.
Yeah, I think, again, we're just seeing the power of this double duelist. Like, a lot of teams will always sort of pump up those initiators, get all that extra information, but when you have players that can almost just run it down like this, that was an aggressive push initially from Takas. He wins a 2v1 duel, gets both kills. The same things moments later from Natank going into the site. Like, they are breaking these crossfires with pure individual skill.
Yeah, it's very potent. It's working very well for them. Destrian can do nothing but respect the outcome of this round. But again, I almost worry when it's that bulldozer, right? Because you think, but what if they just have a couple bad rounds, they lose that springboard? But again, he's running a Phoenix. I mean, everything points to the fact that they are this confident, that they complement this with that raise. This is what they're banking on. Tank will fall, but he's very, very close to his ult. Again, he's still just farming that back up, so I want to see how close he is actually after this round, because he did obviously invest it in the one just gone. And tying the scoreline back up at 3 apiece here. And it's a scrappy game, Tom. We are really seeing them kind of put through the ringer on both sides.
I think the thing that, again, I want to give credit to Gentlemates over other teams running these double duelists, running the Yoru, is I think the two players running it have the mentality of, I can die 6 rounds in a row and I will still keep doing the same thing. I think the prime example was Takas on the last one. Horrible start.
Yes.
And yet he still tried to do all of these tricks because he knows that that's what's making the space for the team. And I believe the same for Natank. Natank is 3 and, well, was 1 and 5.
Yeah.
He now just got a double kill because he was the most aggressive player in the round.
Yeah.
They don't fear or shy away from these plays.
It's very oppressive to play against, right? It's very hard to handle it, and again, it feels like they've got a very quick read for Vitality. They know what's coming their way. They've just left safe, propped up by C. They pulled the rotations across, but now we're going to see if maybe Gentlemates do just to try and springboard in towards that B side. They have no other looks, though. It is going all this way. Yeah, ults are there. Again, the Viper spit on the other side's a little interesting. That spread pretty far, and Takas, though, couldn't spot anything if they drop down. I'm kind of curious how much he can see from that. Seekers as well going to come through. This is everything. And the kitchen sink. Vitality are just trying to get back towards the site. Can they clear this out in time? We've got the lockdown coming in, so there's a time limit. They got to get going. There's so much on the screen right now, but all you can really know is the tank has fallen. Takas still there, was still trying to put his body on the line for this. Sender has to give away a little of the game, and they slowed it down just with the lockdown and speak of, no way! No way does Takas get away with that, dragging them down to hell. That was everything they could have dreamed of.
Do you want to know the worst thing about it? They checked that the first time. That's why they didn't check it the second time. The first time in, they had the Viper's Pit, which gave them the drop down, but they still use Seekers to clear anybody close. The second time, they go, well, unless someone has run all the way back into that position, it's probably clear. And on the way through, not a single player checks it. One even TPs into the corner. Takas, again, he is the biggest nuisance. The golf clap.
Can't do much about that one, can you? And that has shattered Vitality's money. They're down as Sheriffs, they're down as Classics. I'm seeing Ghosts in play. It ain't pretty. I told you this game was one of those kind of very precarious affairs that was on a very knife's edge. You can see almost that crunch play coming out from Vitality, looking to see if they can catch someone over towards that seaside mound, but not to be the case. Gentlemates quick on their feet.
Yeah, constantly putting pressure, but it seems like they found their success over on towards this A site so far. And with weaker weaponry, you can't really expect much. Natank, he'll get his ult next round no matter what. He's running him with the Spectre, so he doesn't really have anything to lose and has, well, not much to gain now. So he's going to send Takas in instead.
Yeah, farm it up, boys. Get those ults back online. Takas wants a bit more as well. Look at him. Ooh, careful. Almost went up there. That could have been his doom.
Gun here. Spike
Runner
planted.
trying to slip down to maybe grab that Phantom Menace, could be noted. Takas waiting. Yeah, he's really trying to get towards that ult, isn't he? Destry now is just the cursed Phantom. Yeah, another victim of it as soon as it was held in hand. Death awaited. Gentlemates for standing, no threats there. Couple of ults very nearby, Tom.
Yeah, I love the ult management from them. Like, you can tell that they are consistently aware of it because the initial push comes in from the tank. I think the only one wasted was the fact that the tank planted.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's okay. Now I have my ult, you guys go and farm. And Takas is then sent in front, and they would have picked up the gun nonetheless. So they are very aware that if you get not only that Phoenix ult, run it back into play, but also a showstopper, those players can combine wonderfully. And on the other side, none of the ults are particularly close.
And we were giving so much credit to Vitality for dealing with that explosive Gentlemate style on map 1. It has not translated the same way here, so I want to see if Vitality maybe hit the break soon and try come up with that plan in mind. It feels like the dust is only just settling after such a volatile first couple of rounds back and forth, so we're starting to see what maybe these rounds will start looking like. But we know Gentlemates like that high tempo, that adrenaline-based Valorant, but now...
And the attack. They like the attack. I think that's the main thing.
Yes.
I think both of these teams are going to succeed more on the attack, similarly for Vitality. So they get to 5-6 rounds, I think they might still have this.
Yeah. Let's see if they can make the wow. Line. Fair enough, kicks. Gonna find that. That's an attack gone, which is pretty telling, but luckily for Gentlemates, they do get to keep that spike and pull it back away with them. So they've not had the same success that they've had in the last couple of rounds now. This is a different beginning.
And they lost one of the ults that they had. That was the major thing that is gone from this round. We haven't really seen them have to slow down and play back into the B site. It's either early C or early A. So for the first time in a while, we might see Destrian under pressure, but he has support very quickly from Runner.
Okay. Should know what's up here. Certainly have those audio cues. Runner called in. Wow, come on, Runner. What was that? Destrian not going to be able to have the same sort of success, though. Oh, no. The timing. Whalers counting his lucky stars for that one, but it is just on Whalers and Logan. TP is there. He's taking it. Where's he off to? All the way to C. And Sender is running it down. Time, 6 seconds. He's dead. And that is surely the round. Logan can do nothing about this one, but accept fate. Vitality slow down this matchup. They dealt with Natank. They took him away.
We should see a timeout.
Suddenly, they were lost.
Yeah, they lose the 1-2 punch and everything looks a little bit flat. Like, that was the thing. I think after that initial kill, you could see the Gentlemates were almost waiting for some sort of mistake. And then when they try and split back in to that B site, you could tell the Vitality were very ready for it and even caught them off on rotations as well. So great round from them. It did start off with a little bit of luck, though, and I don't know if they're going to get that so often with finding the tank early.
And I think we're seeing a little bit of the follow-up to that is the Gentlemates have instantly hit the brakes.
Yeah.
Something about that round they didn't like. And I think what you were just talking about is part of that factor coming in. They want to talk through this, get ahead of those issues, and potentially preempt what they want to do going forward. They are, if you're looking at Gentlemates, they're one away from having Takas' ult. They still have the tanks, as he did go down in that previous one. So those two key elements can come into effect. Again, for Vitality, though, this feels like, as you said, they've kind of maybe started to really identify those core strengths that Gentlemates were running with. I still feel there's a chance that you can lose a gunfight or two, and that's suddenly the round going the other way. But as it stands, I think Vitality now have a chance to get a good foothold into this game.
Yeah, as said, I think if they get 5, anything more than 5 in there, laughing. But I think that we've already seen this map lean quite heavily into the attack, and the composition being run by Gentlemates, I don't really have high expectations of it. The same again as last. You're running a double duelist. You're going to basically have to be pressuring in towards either Mound or Rubble every single round, because if you don't, you're defensively sitting there with a Phoenix, which is one of the most pointless things you can have, unless you're going to be playing constant retakes, which it is possible. Maybe as Hot Hands comes into play in a retake. I reckon 90% of people don't even know what Hot Hands is.
No. But we do know the ult has been used and sent back almost in an instant. It's Takas who keeps getting them value from this. Every single time they go for this kind of brawl out towards A, right? They fight for this area for Rubble control. It's not Natank doing it. No. It's come down to Takas, and he's bailed them out before, and he's got them that first again.
Well, it's basically the reverse of the last map, where Takas was the distraction and the tank got the kills. It's the reverse now. He'll be the distraction, and it always gives space, and Takas always capitalize it. And now he has his ultimate as well.
This is almost infallible as it stands. 2 big picks on either side of the map. You couldn't be asking for a better outcome. Sender's got to respect it as well. You don't want to lose all presence, but again, do you then just springboard straight through towards C? You just got the pick on the solo player, or what you'll assume is a solo player. So yeah, you absolutely do. They're all caught on the heels. That's a problem. Takas goes down, so now they're a little bit uncomfortable. You can see that look back.
The spike goes down.
Oh dear, the tank has got to go. Absolutely clutch, and it's not clean. Safe's punished.
What are they
this
doing?
Is now looking like an absolute nightmare in the making. Logan, you've got a 1v3 and 20 seconds. What are you going to do with it? You don't know how close they are. You're taking a risk. And the risk is paid. He's got time for a plant. He doesn't know how much time he's got to play with. A little bit of utility now back into play here. He could utilize this. Opts against it. And does he get to keep his life? He's just heard this coming in. He's got to run this down perfectly. He's played it very well on the first. The follow-ups are there. 2 more players to find Sender. 1. And Save sitting this. Oh, this is lovely. Actually gets denied. He can't depend on it. He has to body check this. He has to go forward, and he can't do it. Sender held the smoke. Cape kept safe. Keeps around on their side.
It's a 3v5 as well.
Yeah.
And this is the one time I'll have real criticism of Gentlemates, because it's mainly because I've loved what they've done throughout the rest of their attack, and they didn't do it here. Every time we've seen them get a big advantage, they group up as a unit, they go together, and then they trade effectively. This time, you can almost spot all 5 players on different parts of the map running around on their own.
Yeah.
And you give Vitality individual duels, a team we talk about being stacked with talent. That's the worst way you could have played a 3v5. And I understand if you get that much map control, you want to try and hold on to as much of it as possible. But you had a couple of players going on C, 1 lurking on B, 2 outside A. It was just messy.
It was messy. And it's Runner and Safe are going to have the biggest challenge in a moment's time if they continue along this path.
Not here again. He's going to TP into a wall and then shoot the guy in the face.
Yeah, and it's the slow play towards the A side. I don't know if the bird actually caught any of the players. I know they sent it out. I don't think it pinged. So this actually might work out well, because they've got the tank playing a little bit deeper. I think you've got Bayaz by his side, so they're both actually in a good position here. They could springboard forward. There is one player to try and dissuade this, Sender, and he's feeling that pinch. He feels the pressure coming his way. He's trying to deny as much of that space and tee himself up to do just that. Slow down the roll, but Takas having none of it, wants to get ahead, gets dealt with almost by the dog, has to just post that, but look who's ahead of it again. You've still got Kicks here, who could potentially be an issue, right? He's holding a lot of this space, and he even takes down Takas. It's Logan and Whalers with a world of trouble against them.
He's the only one within the sight, but it's a nice shot, and somehow they've turned this back.
It ain't over yet. They're holding on by the finest of margins. Whalers tried to be a little cheeky with the timing of it, but it didn't work out. Logan so low on HP. I don't know what you're meant to do here. This is looking like this is done. I don't think Logan can really deny anything. Beautifully played by Vitality here, in my mind. They've really stemmed the bleeding. They've handled a lot of what Gentlemates were trying to do.
Yeah, they started really taking map control away from them in the early stages of the round, but even still, I think a lot of that just came down to Sender. He's having a great map, 15 and 6, but they are trying to challenge through his snake fights. Like, even if you've managed to stun him up, it's going to take a bullet or 2 to kill you off. Like, that's, again, we talk about being bold on the side of Gentlemates, but it sort of is like it's the teetering on insanity now. There's like, okay, let's run through utility that's going to make me incredibly weak and try and challenge an Odin.
And I quite like the way they're now trying to challenge the C-side, but again, I don't think they've got the full read on what it looks like now. They absolutely don't with Runner putting on a class. And now Safe just going to TP away. He didn't need the extra pressure. They've already got 2 picks almost instantly. That's the perfect beginning for Vitality.
Yeah, and that is the main factor of their defense now is, okay, we can't allow them to have this space for free. Let's fight for everything. They've got deep control on A as well.
And look, yeah, Sender's positioning is massive.
With an Odin.
And Mitch is going to be insufferable. But no, yeah, this is the core problem. They haven't had what they needed in this map. They haven't had the attention.
What is this?
What the dog doing?
Weirdest standoff I think I've ever seen.
Who would win, a dog or a tank? At this point, they've really lost the amount of bodies. They'll never have a favorable fight on any of these sides here. I don't know how they managed to get past it because, as you said, Sender's been magnificent in his work.
Same again. Exact same thing. Snake bite down, go on, push me.
Yep, just hold so much of the map. And yeah, they can go back for this B take potentially, but there's still players here. They can't pull this many players away when there's only 3 of them. Losing out those bodies earlier on was basically the first nail, and Kicks is the second in the coffin. Vitality
Good comeback again, Vitality, like,
towards the end of this first half.
Are looking very solid.
They mean to go on with it. Andalia flawless. It doesn't really get much better than that for them. And as said, 7 rounds on the defensive side when you're playing up against a team that's basically running this double duelist to try and get as many attack rounds as they can. I'm very worried for Gentlemates. I think they showed that sort of turnaround in the last on the attack. This map is one that is famously known for its attack sides, and they have gone down on a half that I don't know what they're going to have in response. They're going to have some really good ideas. I'm almost thinking back to like some old school like Zelsis Phoenix,
Christ.
you know, on Haven where he used to like pop flash out of mid. That's about all I've got, because I think that for the most part, unless you're going full on retake and basically just playing your defense as an attack, the Phoenix isn't going to have that much value.
I'm always ready to be proven wrong, but I think we are underway, so we can jump into game here. You didn't miss too much, but let's kind of recap a little. You can see the space that is a high priority for Gentlemates, right? They've taken over that A-Rubble side, and they're going to continue that affair. Clear deep as they can, because they have to, right? There is no rest for them. There is no sitting passively. Sender will be the one to try and control this. He's called back for support. That's lovely. Sender finds a second on for the third as well. Bayaz has to run. He's scrambling away, eats the paranoia, but luckily enough can navigate around well. But he has just rescinded the entire way back towards A.
Yeah, we have had a week of IGL's top fragging. Sender now doing it. We had Boo. We've had Pora.
Yeah.
I think Boaster's going to drop 30 when he finally gets to the server.
Okay. I like that.
Maybe not. We'll see.
No. You called it. You will stand by that one. That's a prediction from the bank. But again, this feels quite indicative of how this game might go, or at least this half. This kind of almost hell-bent aggression from Gentlemates that you need to do, but it's very hard to make it work. And look at this utility in play. Logan teed up with the perfect position to punish Anna going down. Now, what can they make of this, though? What can they do with this? Can they get that plant? Is that a possibility for them here? Is there a challenge? Here's that challenge. It's a swing back in. Destrian does very well to find Logan. Down to Whalers and Bayaz here. 12 more seconds. Time becoming a factor. Bayaz the only one standing, and Sender absolutely magnanimous in that round. Just playing out of his mind, honestly, dealing with the main threat initially, Tom, and then just having the time of his life.
Yeah, he's on fire. 19 and 6, he's been the difference maker. Everybody else is relatively close within the server, but he locked down the A site when it came to the defense, and this time he basically spotted the push. He came up against that terrifying double duelist and took them both down like it was nothing.
Yep. Getting a little scared now. Right, this is when I get a little scared that you didn't get that first, which is a bit of a problem. You wanted to see if they could maybe deal with it, but look at what we're seeing here. Look at the star here from Takas. It's very all in. Sender has been up for the challenge. Definitely spotted Takas there, who now is responding by keeping his damn head down. But you've got to be cautious, right? So they've shown a lot, and they've quickly rotated. Now, again, they are on pistols, Tom, so I'm not that fussed that they're trying something like this. This is a round to do it in if you're going to get almost over-aggressive. But still, it's going to be very hard for them to make much work. Logan does at least have a sheriff, so maybe a couple of shots.
We haven't seen a sort of magical Logan round yet. I thought he might get it in that 1v3 earlier. I had a little bit of faith. Like, but we haven't got that yet, and I think it's something they're missing. He was unreal in their Ascension run. I think especially versus Ascend. I think he had like 80-something kills. It was just absurd. Oh no, wait, that wasn't a tank. He was versus Apex. So in the final, he was just unstoppable. So they're going to need some of that now because, again, this is a pretty rough spot to be in. Bear in mind, the other team in their group is Fnatic.
Yes. I don't even want to think that far ahead. But the problem is, it is a gamble stack we're seeing now. I would have gone a little bit more. I am a bit worried. The amount of bodies that are on this site, Tom, I don't actually like this for Vitality. Now, in my mind, they should overwhelm them, right? They should be able to just outgun them. But I just get scared seeing the time. And for now, not a problem. They've weathered the storm really well. Again, sometimes I do get nervous just because, time limit. If Spike gets lost, someone goes down, rifles get recovered. Not an issue. The tank, the only one still there. Sender. Unlucky. Wow. Short-lived, wasn't it? quick vengeance. Runner comes swinging off the way. Yeah, literally, right? I should have seen it coming. But still, that's perfectly fine. Vitality now propping themselves up with a decent lead here. This has to be the start if Gentlemates want to make an impact on this half.
Yeah, and I am worried for them because, again, we're seeing a lot of teams do this where quite heavy investments have a pistol or two and then they're able to just purchase up into these next rounds. So you're looking at rifles across the board. Like, there isn't anything missing here. On the attack side as well, Vitality have been very good at just being patient and waiting for their opponents to make mistakes. And again, there's not really anything else that Gentlemates can do. You've got a Phoenix on the defensive side and a Raze. You have to do something to take map control. Or maybe just pull out a cable and you get a little bit more time to think about it. Do you have like a pedal or something? I'm genuinely curious at this
if I
time.
press it, if I think, no, I need a little bit more time. I don't want to go home yet. Having such a good time, Tom, just, you know. That's...
I heard you saying you really want a third map.
Where?
Desperate for one.
Where did you hear that?
Someone in my, I thought it was you. Maybe it was.
No,
maybe
I think that was Kevin actually. Producer Kevin.
He lives here though, basically.
It's true.
In the
I mean,
studio.
yeah, because last year, or I guess the last time we were doing this sort of regular season, we had producer Sam, obviously, who meme unto himself. But now you get producer Kevin, which we'll introduce you to as we go. And we don't want to bring up Alberto. That's too far, but we'll get you there.
He likes to stay here just so he can be home alone.
I'm going to let that breathe for just a second. That was awful. Right, back underway. We are going to have to focus on what's going on because it's quick, it's pacey, and it's Takas on the hunt. Oh, God, the flash just about gets out of there. This man is playing so precariously. He was just flying forward. He was so desperate for that brawl.
Yeah, the fact is, though, Vitality, they're ready to go back for more because they know that chances are the flashes, the stuns, everything that was used to support him is gone. So he has to fall back off the angle. So that initial fight got them some information. Now they're putting the pressure on, but look who's there again.
There.
Sender is just omnipresent, it feels like, every time they try and go for this. But look on the other side, nice little flash up. Maybe with Whalers, this could work out a little bit of a pinch from both sides. But will it be the similar scenes? Will be the, is this...
He's got support now.
Yeah, this is just feels on a knife's edge, doesn't it?
Oh, he's gonna block the Killjoy on the other side.
There's the flat. Oh, come on, Sender!
What?
Did he just blind do that? Was that...
Oh, no, he just wallbanged him from the back lines. That's what that was. That was a different push that came through, and then Sender just went, I'll just pop his head through the box.
Madness. Takas did just win that fight towards Destrian, though, so they are actually keeping the numbers advantage here for the Gentlemaid side. Can they control the end of the situation, though? There's still a player that's a problem. That is going to be Whalers here, tucked away in the corner. Oh, he's going to be hard checked and hard cleared. He just, between a rock and a hard place, he didn't know quite what to do with that one. Plant going to come down, and now down to the 3v3. Safe over by the tree, too, trying to get a little ahead of themselves. Logan, this could be everything, and it is! On for the board, no, not going to get it, but left on the third, and it's safe left alive in a 1v2, and this man is a monster. This man, terrifying in his own right, but can he do it now? The smoke about to fade, and they waited for it. Bayaz is there. Gentlemates will not go quietly away from this game.
Yeah, very patient stuff. Again, following his call to the latter and winning a round that they desperately needed. That was one that looked like it was going to fall apart. The initial fight, like, this is what I mean. He actually just spams it before the flash comes through, knowing where his opponent is. Sender's been having a great game, but I think this was the fight that was important. Just catching that late rotator, and then obviously, does this count as our Logan round? It was pretty good.
It was a pretty good round.
Is it Logan standard, though?
No. Logan's got more to bring.
Yeah, he's got like
you know
1v4 with a sheriff or something.
Yeah, you know when you see it.
Versus a team whose analyst, what was his name? It was like Man Mitch or something.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
But what I do know...
the coach was Banks, that's who it was.
Right. Banks. Yeah, not the No Majors Club here. But what I am looking at is this death ball that Gentlemates have just evacuated from A. They rotated towards B. What is this round? What am I watching here? This is like a complete switch up. The tank is just putting himself on the line here. Bear's going to make the most of that by punishing Destrian off the back of it. And now they try and chase him down. Where are they off to? Whalers is about to get overwhelmed. He can barely make it out of there alive. He's got to run away on 12 HP. Just about getting a smoke back online, but that's almost too late. Yeah, they want him dead. Kicks is hot on his heels. He's gone. Sights open. Plant's going to be in.
It's almost like Vitality took a leaf out of their book. They were caught in a weird spot, and they have just gone hunting. Logan needs to be a hero again, and he takes down the Danger Man.
Now this could be a Logan round. This could be a little something. Did he spot both or just one? Not going to get it. Runner, clean, sharp. locked on.
They're gonna
Bears
save.
and Takas, no, that ain't happening. That post-plant situation, unbreakable.
Yeah, it definitely seems a little bit disjointed as well. Like, the way Natank played that, okay, the initial fight definitely got his teammate a jewel, but then he does the same thing. He's not in the ult anymore.
Yeah.
Just goes running straight through into that B site, and obviously at that point, Vitality are just watching for it, and there isn't any follow-up. There isn't any way to trade that, and so they end up losing those advantages. Logan as well, he basically has to 1v3 to get them anything. It just didn't seem like there was much of an opportunity, and what we sort of spoke about with Gentlemates on the last map thriving, again, there's been a few rounds here where I just feel like it's not quite as regimented as I expected it to be.
This game is not going to be regimented, is it? Let's be honest.
No.
The way the
Gloves are
comms
off.
coming out, everything. Yeah, this has been one of those. Now, Gentlemates got to get a grip on this game. If you want to see them go further, they've got to be able to stop this bleeding because Vitality is starting to string together rounds here, right? You look at the start of it, first two back-to-back. Yeah, the dip off there, but back to business already, breaking the money of what Gentlemates going to be bringing in. They have the lockdown on Logan, yes, but again, these are really important rounds. And here comes Takas. Are you up for the challenge? You're one of the key components, and he's fallen. Runner's got the punish, and now there's problems. Safe wants to get even further into this. He's willing to challenge, and he loses. Bears is there for Runner, instantly picking up the slack. This guy is terrifying to watch.
He's already had himself an ace in the last one. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for it here.
Runner's a hell of a player. Starting to see him come into his own in this one. Considering how chaotic Gentlemates are playing, that's a big credit to his side that he is able to be this disruptive.
If you push Safe off Duelist, you gotta be good at something.
That's fair. That is such a fair assessment, right? And you look at the post plant here, right? Look how much they've got. What are you meant to do if you're Logan and Whalers? I mean, hey.
Die to the spike.
Yep, that's about it. That's about as far as you get. So that's gonna be 11 for Vitality. And you look at those ults, they're really close by. Sender, one off, Kicks already has
That's why you die to the spike.
Away. Exactly.
You don't want to give anything over at this stage.
So close to even having a snowball round in the pocket, which is just, you know, 1 foot in the grave. Right? That's the worst case scenario. And Sender, well, he thinks, why not go see if I can get a little something for myself here? I absolutely can. There we go. That's devastating. For Gentlemates, not going to get their way, and that is the Viper's Pit. Now Complement sitting alongside the Seekers. They've got a lot to play with.
Yeah, I'm not sure I see a road back at this stage for Gentlemates. Like, I was really relying on this attack side being good, and their defense has been almost exactly what was expected. Constant A aggression, and you can see each round Vitality go, okay, you want to fight A, we're going to make it as awkward and difficult for you as possible. And Runner, he's almost just taken this as a challenge.
Yeah.
Like, he is cleaning up house when they fight this together, and it's going to be the same again.
They've got to show up now. They've got to put in an appearance here. And once again, doubling down, tripling down. It's Runner, not up to the challenge this time. Gets put to bed by Natank, who gets to dip away and keep his life. Safe though, finally gets in, gets 2 for himself. Natank's not stopping. He still wanted more pressure. They are willing to fight till the very end here. But they have to back away. Vitality have to move. They're working off the back of these Seekers. Kicks is just going to take the tour if he has to.
Found them.
They're going quickly towards C. Logan's here. Logan could stop this before it even starts. He's got to know it. He's got to know it. But the timing of the Seek coming around, this is a 1v2. Destrian has an opportunity, Tom.
Yeah, I wondered if he was going to preemptively use the lockdown. He was able to do it on the rotation, but decided to fight instead. And that was giving Destrian a chance. They've got to group up and fight this together. Natank already fairly low. Tak has tagged a bit. And honestly, this is a scenario where Destrian can really make his mark.
You just heard the ult go through, so Natank needs to be pretty much a scout. Actually turned the flash really well. Oh my god, I thought that was done for. Destrian really had a small window of chance, and he was halfway through it for a second there. Not to be. Diffuse going to come through, and Gentlemates live to fight another round. They stave off the Wolves for another go of things.
I wonder if this will be the moment where Vitality decide to just maybe take their foot off the gas with that fight towards the A side, because it feels very 50-50. Like, Safe sort of TPing his way behind them made that a little bit more interesting, but it has just been basically, can Runner find both Takas and the tank? Most of the time the answer has been yes, but as you can see, that same fight's going to come through for Gentlemates. They're going to rinse and repeat. This time they're leaving Sender behind. Odin on attack. He's about to wallbang the hell out of them.
Okay, timeout coming in. Gentlemates, with that little bit of a lifeline, that little bit of a show of life in them, they've gone, okay, let's see what we can do with this, right? 11-7. easy enough to close when you think about it on the board, right? You think, hey, that's not that far. That's fine. We can absolutely do this. They have a lockdown to play with. They've got Takas. I think, what, 1 off, I think, from the showstopper.
Yeah, 3 ults, 1 away.
Yeah, look, they are right on the cusp of something here. But do they continue to do this, right? This just like smacking their head against that A brawl, and it's not a coin flip necessarily, but you are just banking you're winning those fights, which I wouldn't say has always been going the way. Sender's been monstrous against them. He's been dealing damage the entire time. Run has been a nightmare to handle. So do they risk it again? I don't know how many options you have with a composition like this.
I think the one thing that's going to almost prompt them to keep doing this is the fact that with a lockdown, you can pretty much clear B and C. The A site always gets a little bit more sketchy because there'll be angles you can hide in, maybe back towards tree, or depending where you put it aggressively. Whereas the C site, you're going to get forced all the way out towards mound or have to fight forward. And the B site, I'll be honest, if they have a lockdown for a B site retake, you're probably in quite a bit of trouble.
Yeah. All right. Time to inspire the troops here, Gentlemates. What have you been able to come up with? Giving yourself a new lease of life, but it looks like they're just going to go for push on C instead.
Oh my fucking god.
This guy is sponging all of this aggression. Runner has dealt with it on A, he's dealt with it on C. He is their kryptonite.
Yeah, and a lot of it is just predicting what his opponent's going to do. Maybe thinking of what he would do in that scenario. It needed to be cleaner if Logan was going to be able to win that fight. Unfortunately, Kicks can't heal himself, but that's the least of their worries. They've got a 2-man advantage and a free A site, and they got rid of the lockdown. That was the one real dangerous ultimate that's online.
That was the integral piece, right?
Yep.
That could have been something to it. I think this is going to be a very early call to save here. I think you're going to have to give up to 12. Destrian.
Ooh. He's on the steps.
Oh,
they've gone like ships in the night. No, his teammates got that. Whalers must be like, wait, how's he there?
How's that happened? Still, Bayaz and Takas do need to keep control of this. Yeah, Takas will get ult from this, but still, I want to see them keep these rifles as best they can because they are going to be working up against it. This is when the real challenge starts. I mean, it's been challenging the entire time, but now it's do or die moment, right? You don't get any more chances. I want to give a lot of plaudits. Again, yes, Sender's been probably the highlight if you look at the board for Vitality, but Run has been a godsend here. He has been putting in his work. I don't think he meant that.
You're doing all right, Sender? Maybe he had enough of the Odin?
Yeah, it's fine for cash, don't worry.
If he buys up an operator. Oh, no, never mind. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, he's look. That's more embarrassing now that we've seen
worse.
that.
That's
he
actually
died
worse.
looking at sprays.
Right, this is it. 12 to 7. If you look at Gentlemates, they've got ults. 3 to play with. Bayaz 1 off. On the other side, though, they have had the read. Vitality have had a stranglehold on this half. They have got it figured out. Now, an adjustment. Vitality this time pressuring in towards that B side, and on a platter is Takas. That is the ult removed, and the B side now under the Vitality flag.
And the tank trying to do whatever he can, but they just have utility ready every single time. Bears having to use what he can to force them out. I think this is done. Lockdown finally used, but I think it's too little too late.
It might truly be untenable at this point. They can try as hard as they can. Let's see. Logan, Whalers, if there's anything left, now is the time. This is your opportunity. And they've got to respect the ult. This is time being purchased. There's nothing you can do about it. That is as best you can get. Dip away, and now it's down to the wire. You've got to run in there. Gentlemates, the options are dwindling. Time is dwindling. You've got to face the music, and Runner is just running through them. Whalers beautiful, but down with a knife! The ultimate disrespect from the man in charge. Sender with an outstanding performance here today.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of new IGLs, we've seen a lot of IGLs return, but the fact is the fragging power of the IGL is what's really impressed me.
Vitality looks pretty solid. It's gonna be very interesting to see Vitality versus Fnatic.
He looks like a real prospect.
You highlighted it, you said it right. You've got to be something special to take that role away from safe. And I think we've seen a little glimpse of what that man can achieve.
It's Friday.
I've got to say as well, Sala behind the scenes doing wonders on map 1, dealing with that, giving them the tack pause that came in so perfectly. And if you look at it from the other side for Gentlemates, These guys have come up into the big leagues now, and they put on a good game. It felt like it lacked a little bit of depth in the versatility because of the compositions, but I liked what they were trying to do.
I like that they're taking risks. Like, that's the thing. A lot of teams will come back in and it will be sort of a little bit, I don't know, scared to play anything outside the box. They have come in and gone, we're going to throw in comps that you haven't seen before and see if you can deal with it, and Vitality could.
Yeah, this is great signs for Vitality, and it makes you wonder, with full 5, what does that team look like, right? Like, that's what's on the back of my mind as well. But a fantastic little glimpse into this squad. Liking what I'm seeing from Safe, like his role in this team as well, liking kind of how he's fitting into this. There's been a couple of questions in my mind, how they were going to fare as this roster, how Runner was going to slot into this, and actually it's been very, very good. I just, again, so impressed by Sender, especially on this map. Exceptional performance.
Well, the interesting thing is, there's a damn good chance that we're getting this matchup as a rematch as well, because obviously it's going to be Vitality going on to face Fnatic. The loser will come straight back down again. So now, not only have you beaten them, but you're going to have to beat Existence when he has data. And I think that's a very, very different game.
No, you're absolutely right. What a tantalizing prospect that is. Oh, we do seem as though we are checking in on the birthday boy over there.
Yuri.
There was a little cake being cut up as well in between.
I've had some. Yeah.
Did you have the cake?
I had some of Yuri's cake, and you know, it was very good.
See, I absconded. I should have probably had some. I feel like I should have gone over
Yeah, you left at the wrong time. You know?
But I do like the way they've actually attached the balloon to him at this point.
Yeah.
Mitch's solo job was attaching that balloon.
Oh no, it ended up with Uli doing it because Mitch cannot be trusted, and also, I don't know if you've seen this, but Yuri's quite tall.
That would have been hard.
He's not reaching that high. You have to know your limits.
Yeah, so he's got what looks like a bowl of fruit.
The thing is,
now.
I think it's because we've eaten the cake. Like,
I didn't eat the cake. All right, that was all you.
I mean, I was part of the, I was part of the Spanish group having the cakes. You know.
How nice of you.
I know. Sharing is caring.
Yeah, I do see it. I'm looking. I think that's Frankie weighing down on stage with Sender. So why not here for the man of the moment?
Okay.
Joined by Frankie.
I'm gonna go. I'm
Thank you very
pretty
much,
sick.
Tombin and Pansy, and thank you, Sender, for joining me.
Hello.
I watched a video that Vitality
gonna
put
go
out where
rest.
Coach Salah was saying that you stepped into the IGL role because he asked
Was
you
a
nicely
very
to.
close game.
And it turns out you've been a revelation. Did you always know you'd make such a great leader?
For my pastimes,
But
I was
yeah,
Vitality in
Vitality
other
is
games,
very
so pretty
solid. I'm
much it was
very
natural for me.
curious
And
to
Salah
see
is
what
nasty,
they're
so obviously I
gonna
accepted his offer.
gonna
he
do
didn't
against
realise,
Fnatic.
Apparently, they didn't know that you'd be so great.
Especially since like
I mean, it turns out I'm a gem.
Yeah, you're absolutely.
they're
gem.
probably
You're
gonna
also a fragging
they're
IGL,
probably
it turns out. That seems to
hidden
be
some
becoming a
stuff
trend
from
on this
Fnatic
stage
too,
at
I think.
VCT.
I don't think
Why do you think this is the
Vitality
thing? How are
played
you
their
able to
best
perform so well with so much on
their
your
best
shoulders?
Valorant.
Because obviously because of the coaching staff, they give us a lot of preparation, so we don't have
Anyways,
to rely so much like thinking
see
myself.
you tomorrow.
I'm doing the theory
and,
correctly.
yeah.
If everyone is following my calls,
Have
so
fun.
it's easier to shoot and everyone is just following. So